Chris Renwick, Lloyd Jackson, and Jamie Edmonds on 760 WJR and on the WJR app, where Michigan comes to talk.
I don't know about you guys, but I've been getting a little anxious.
You ready?
I've been getting a little anxious because the Tigers start today.
Yes, they do.
Yay! They play today.
Yes, they do.
And I was getting nervous because I don't know where to watch them.
That was the problem.
Yeah, so thankfully, we've got some information for you now. So the Tigers open their season today against the Padres on the road in San Diego. And we hadn't heard about where we can see these games because, remember, they are now not a part of FanDuel. This is part of Detroit Sports Net, which is an Illich conjunction with Major League Baseball. And so now we know if you are a Comcast or Xfinity user, you can tune into channel 1253. 1253, you'll be able to watch these games there. If you have Charter or Spectrum in our market in Detroit, 213. If you are in the up north area, 291, 307, 1307 are possibilities as well. If you go way up north, 436. So they're there on Spectrum as well, and DirecTV or Uverse, they're there as well. 663-3 for DirecTV.
Okay,
making it real easy for everybody.
Exactly.
This is going to create some problems.
I agree, Jamie. I completely agree. But for those of us that still pay for cable, you will be able to watch the Padres and Tigers go at it at 410 today.
If you want to listen to them on your radio, just go up on your roof. Just make sure the antenna's all the way up and the wind is coming from the northeast. And then you'll be able to hear.
Yeah, exactly.
All right.
Look, I like listening to the radio because I like Dan Dickerson. So there's that too.
Definitely. And I just went to that channel. I have Comcast, I have Xfinity. So I just went to the channel yesterday once they announced just to see, you know.
Yeah.
Like, well, so what are you doing?
I was at my mom's house for a little bit yesterday after this was announced, and I said, well, let me look because she's got YouTube TV.
Okay.
So I go, let me see if I can find it there. It's not on there. So if you are,
I think you have to get the app if you're doing like internet-based TV.
Yes. So if you have cut the cord and you want to watch, the option for you is you can go to tigers.com/Detroit Sports Net. And there's a couple of different options for you. You could pay $190 up front, $189.99. That's for the whole year. Or you can pay $19 a month. Those are the options for those that don't have cable.
Boy, we have come a long way from just flipping on the TV and watching the Tigers, you know.
I know. I know. There was a time when it was easy.
It was just easy, yeah.
But that's where we're at now. So there are options for people to watch these games.
Okay.
We're cutting it pretty close because it's game day. But regardless, people now have the information that you can watch these games.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, the war in Iran continues, and the president said last night that he maintains that Iran is still negotiating, but confirmations this morning that the IDF, the Israeli military strikes, targeted Al-Reza Tangsiri, who was one of the Israeli leaders who was vital in closing down the Strait of Hormuz. That's according to Israeli officials. So that was announced today. Iran says that they are rejecting the United States ceasefire. This comes as there's heavy reports of strikes around Isfahan. That is one of the main areas where they were either storing or enriching this uranium.
Okay.
Also, last night it was reported that 2/3 of Iranian munition plants have been hit. The United States says that they've hit 10,000 targets in this war with Iran. So the military operations here don't stop, even though there might be some negotiations happening here.
Well, and, these Iranian, strikes continued after these mediators have been meeting, and the president says that Iran wants a deal. So they're still striking, and they're talking about closing a second key waterway, this Bab al-Mandeb Strait, with the help of Houthis. So, the war is still ongoing, even though talks are allegedly happening.
Yeah, and again, the 5-day pause was strictly for these these power plants.
That's right.
Yeah, so that's where the pause comes in, as they hope to maybe strike a deal here in the next couple of days. Also, the news broke yesterday. The jury came back in that Los Angeles case and found that Meta and YouTube, Meta being Instagram and Facebook and YouTube, they were negligent for designing addictive social media products that harmed, in this case, a young user's mental health. She's now 20 years old, the plaintiff.
Yeah.
She's only been identified as KGM, but she began using YouTube when she was 6 years old and Instagram at 9 years old. And later she developed anxiety and depression and body image issues and compulsive use. And jurors say that it was the algorithm recommendations, the infinite scrolling, the notification loops that were a substantial factor in causing her harm. They awarded her $3 million in compensatory damages, $3 million in punitive damages. Meta's going to pay 70% of that, YouTube 30% of it. But this is really the first major case where we've seen something like this happen. And I mean, there are thousands of these cases pending.
And I know they're going to appeal, but this could open the door for these social media companies to deal with more lawsuits and be on the losing side of it. So we'll see, if this is the open door.
Yeah, I mean, this case in LA happened 24 hours after a case in New Mexico where a jury said that Meta exposed minors to harmful content. So it's 2 cases this week. And so everyone, as Lloyd said, wondering if this is going to be like big tobacco in the 90s, where now a flood of cases are going to come forward.
I mean, I will say this, though, to be fair, not to, stick up for these big social media companies, but like, where's the parents here? You're 6 years old and you just get unfettered use to YouTube.
Yeah.
I mean, again, obviously there's something wrong with these platforms. We know that. We know the ramifications of it, particularly for young kids, particularly for young girls. But I mean, Jamie, you let Liv just run free on YouTube and Instagram? Like, we don't do that at our house.
No, I mean, I get your point here. Like, there's got to be some parental control too. Like, hey, no, you're not allowed to do that at 6.
Yeah, exactly.
No, I agree. Health officials in Washington County, they've confirmed a 7th case of measles in an unvaccinated child. We talked about 4 cases yesterday. It is now up to 7. The latest case linked to the first case reported on March 11th and may have exposed others at a local healthcare facility. A previously suspected case from March 21st is now confirmed, making Washington County Community College and Kroger on Whitaker Road confirmed exposure sites. High-risk individuals, including infants, pregnant people, and those with compromised immune systems, have until Friday, March 27th to receive post-exposure treatment. Anyone not immune is urged to avoid public spaces through April 11th and monitor for symptoms, which can appear up to 21 days after exposure. Measles spreads easily through the air. The symptoms include high fever, cough, runny nose, red eyes, and a distinctive rash. The Washington County Health Department urges anyone potentially exposed to call ahead before seeking care to prevent further spread. It's an outbreak.
Couple more.
Yeah, and it's all, a lot of this is tied to the outbreak that they have in Florida. And somebody in Florida comes back here, they sprayed it here, and now it's starting to go wild in Washington County.
Pistons lose last night to Atlanta in overtime, 130 to 129.
Oh, man, I watched some of that game yesterday.
Overtime.
Man, did it. Yes.
Yeah.
Could have did it.
Could have done it. Yeah. Could have, would have, should have.
Could have, would have.
Still 52-20. Unbelievable.
Yes. Yeah.
They're still good without Cade. That's the takeaway. They played them hard. Almost beat them.
Yes.
Yeah, I agree. Also, we've got a couple of turning games tonight. I'm very upset with the schedulers. Don't they know our schedule? It's ridiculous because we do have a few games tonight. I would love to see this Illinois-Houston game. Unfortunately, it tips at 10:05.
Oh, no.
Yeah. So I might fade to it.
Night.
But I don't think so. Arkansas and Arizona go at 9:45. Iowa and Nebraska, a little Big Ten matchup at 7:30. And Texas and Purdue tip things off at 7:10. So we got a couple of really good tournament games tonight as well. All right, we'll take a break. Coming up on the other side, what's the latest on the Strait of Hormuz? One of the main people on the Iranian leadership ladder was targeted in these Israeli strikes. What does that mean for the Strait? It's coming up on JR Morning.
I know that hiring can be challenging. You need someone to match your role perfectly. Well, now you can meet them fast on ZipRecruiter.
Build your team. Build it sooner. Meet your match on ZipRecruiter.
Just head to ZipRecruiter.com/free right now to try it for free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Meet your match on ZipRecruiter. Try it free.
Meet Morgan Jones. Morgan is about to step into a world unknown to most, thanks to Progressive's Renters Insurance, a place of fresh linens and turn-down service. You see, Morgan temporarily vacated her apartment and has gone to a hotel because a pipe burst in her apartment. A pipe that made her sense of reality and apartment ceiling all come crashing down. Luckily, Morgan checked into Progressive's Protection Zone. Get a quote at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and third-party insurers.
If you owe back taxes, listen carefully to rule number 1. Never go up against the IRS alone. They're cracking down, freezing bank accounts, garnishing paychecks, canceling passports. Even your home or business could be at risk. But here's what they don't tell you. The IRS has powerful tax relief programs that could save you thousands if you qualify. That's why smart people call Optima Tax Relief, America's #1 tax resolution firm. Nobody knows these programs like the experts at Optima. Their team of tax attorneys and licensed professionals have resolved over $2 billion in tax debt for people just like you. The IRS is not stopping, so don't wait and don't take them on alone. For tax help you need, for tax help you can trust, call Optima today for a free consultation.
Call 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
Thanks for calling the Complete Battery Source.
This is probably a long shot, but I'm a buyer for XYZ Corporation, and I was wondering if you carry two-way radio batteries.
Yep, got that.
But you didn't even hear what kind of two-way radio we got.
Don't need to. We're your Complete Battery Source. The answer is pretty much always, yep, got that.
Wow, that's great, but our office isn't near any of your stores. Wish there was some way I could order online.
Yep, got that. With our new and improved website, yepgotthat.com, you can order online.
Really? What about a battery for our...
Yep, got that. Complete Battery Source has batteries for anything that uses batteries, and we can accommodate almost any order, whether you want to buy a new battery for your delivery van or 5,000 AA's.
That's great. Sounds like Complete Battery Source is the place to power up all of my business needs.
That's right. All you got to do is come into any one of the 5 Complete Battery Source locations: Brighton, Southfield, Ypsilanti, Okemos, and Houghton Lake. Call toll-free 877-ALL-BATS or click on yepgotthat.com. 5 locations. Now you got that?
Would you mind going through that one more time?
After years of diving into the ups and downs of retirement planning, we've decided to change the name of our show, Expedition Retirement. Join us for Fire Your Financial Advisor, Saturdays at 3 and Sundays at 5 on News Talk 760 WJR.
WJR Traffic and Weather First.
This report is sponsored by Capital One. What's in your wallet? Capital One offers no fees or minimums on checking accounts. And most Capital One cafes are open 7 days a week to assist with your banking needs. What's in your wallet? Terms apply. See CapitalOne.com/bank. Capital One N.A. Member FDIC.
No crashes on the roads right now. Few construction notes telegraph in both directions between Voorhees and Elizabeth Lake Road. That left lane is closed until 3 p.m. tomorrow. Left lane also closed on westbound 8 Mile between John R. and Woodward till tomorrow. Eastbound 94 between Mount Elliott and Van Dyke. That right lane closed till 4 p.m. on Saturday. Now, WJR Weather First from the Weather Channel, sponsored by Weather Seal Home Improvements. This year, don't just get a tax refund, upgrade it. Turn your refund into a bigger return with a brand new roof from Weather Seal Home Improvements. Right now, they'll add an extra $1,000 to your refund towards your new roof. That's a smart deal. Book today at WeatherSealHomeImprovements.net. That's WeatherSealHomeImprovements.net. Here's your forecast.
Thunderstorms in our forecast today could bring some gusty winds and hail, potentially some isolated tornadoes. Should be okay this morning. This afternoon's commute, especially toward this evening, could become quite a mess. 67 today. Tonight, especially early, thunderstorms will have that chance to be severe. Outlook from the Storm Prediction Center is a slight risk for severe storms.
Okay.
Then as the storm goes through, we'll see upper 20s by tomorrow morning, so colder, even chillier in the suburbs. And Friday, clouds give way to sunshine. Our last Friday of the month, we'll have a high near 40. For the Weather Channel, I'm meteorologist Ray Stajic, 760 WJR, where Michigan comes to talk.
I'm Kevin Dietz, coming up on All Talk. University of Michigan's president is on Capitol Hill as lawmakers investigate alleged Chinese espionage on college campuses. The hearing comes after federal probes involving smuggled biological materials tied to the University of Michigan. All Talk is 9 to noon. You can stream us anytime at WJR.com.
So we've seen reports that some of these tankers have gotten through the Strait of Hormuz.
Is that the big present that the president was talking about the other day?
Maybe.
You know?
We don't know what that big present was.
Right.
But what does it mean? Does it mean there are mines there? Does it mean that there is some sort of compromise ongoing? Let's talk about it. Austin Gullett, the former Navy intel officer, joins us. Austin, good to have you back.
Yeah, good morning, guys.
What do you make of those reports that there's some action through the strait at this point?
Well, I mean, that's the big strategic play by Iran, and we knew it was coming, and that's why you're hearing talks about, troop deployments in Karg Island, which is to the north off the coast of Iran. But yeah, the Straits of Hormuz, I mean, just to understand it, at the narrowest point, it's 21 miles wide. At the widest, it's 60. And there's hundreds of tankers. I'm seeing reports of about 500 tankers sitting idle on both sides. So Iran definitely is playing their strategic Straits of Hormuz card for sure. And I think eventually it will force our hand, because I think one of the U.S.'s military objectives is to allow for free navigation, and that's going to come to a head. And I think eventually, the U.S. may have to take that by force. But certainly right now it's closed, and Iran is wreaking havoc in the region. It's also not helping Iran's cause with their Gulf allies. Strategically, I think it could backfire for Iran, because you've seen Saudi Arabia, who originally refused to allow their territory or air bases to be used for strikes on Iran. They've quietly reversed the course now, agreeing for the U.S. forces to operate out of the King Fahd air base. And then also the UAE is sort of opening their own economic front in the war, closing Iranian institutions, and those Gulf states, and throw Oman in there. They're not going to allow for Iran to control this strait. So strategically, the cards are not looking too good for Iran. But right now, tactically, they do have control of it.
There's this growing question right now too, Austin. Can even a massive U.S. military presence reopen the strait if Iran doesn't want it open? I mean, we watched Ukraine without much of a navy push back on Russia's Black Sea Fleet. Are we now seeing that same playbook show up in the Persian Gulf?
Well, tactically, it is militarily, Iran has the advantage. If you look at the coastline, as far as the Straits of Hormuz controlling that, if you look at the coastline, it's really rugged terrain along the Iranian coastline going through the strait. And it really gives Iran a line of sight to all the vessels and maritime activity. It sort of resembles a tactical kill zone. So Iran doesn't need an overwhelming force, and success for the Iranians in the strait would. You don't have to stop all the flow. You just need to have one or two significant incidents. You blow up a vessel, and that affects the insurance companies and everything that is related to that oil maritime industry. So. That said, I think it is a hard objective for the U.S. military to take that. And I do believe that if we have to, the U.S. will take that by force, because that is just too strategic of an operation to allow the Iranians to control.
That was going to be my question to you, because the USS Tripoli is going there, the USS New Orleans, and then the Pride of the Pacific, according to the Wall Street Journal, left the West Coast for the area. So do you see the U.S. taking it by force?
I think if all indications that Iran is not cooperating, I mean, you probably saw the 15-point peace plan. Supposedly we sent that through intermediaries in Pakistan, and then Iran came out through their public television and said that there are no talks going on, and they issued their own peace proposal, which Washington's not going to give the time of day to. So based on the current rhetoric and dialogue, I think it is trending toward that the U.S. would have to take the straits by force. And Karg Island, just to highlight that again, that's an island north along the coast of Iran. Karg Island controls 90% of Iranian oil distribution, 60% of their revenue, and 50% of Iranian's budget. So if we were to take Karg Island, that could be an economic checkmate And I think that would then facilitate, we'd have another physical basing that would further support if we needed to put troops on the ground in the actual strait.
And just for clarity, is that where these troops that have been deployed come into play? The 82nd Airborne, the Marines that are making their way over, is that where they come in?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. The 82nd Airborne is built for speed and surprise, where the Marines, the MU, the Marine Expeditionary Units, they're a little bit bigger and have heavier munitions and equipment. And so, between the combination of those two units, the 82nd Airborne would likely go in first, and then the MU would help reinforce and hold that area. So, absolutely.
Austin, gotta always appreciate your insight. Thank you for taking a couple of minutes with us this morning. We appreciate you.
Sure. Thank you all.
Yeah, you got it. Meanwhile, Caroline Leavitt at the White House press update yesterday said that the president's preference is always peace. There does not need to be any more death and destruction. But if Iran fails to accept the reality of the current moment, if they fail to understand that they have been defeated militarily and will continue to be, President Trump will ensure they are hit harder than they have been hit before. President Trump does not bluff, and he is prepared to unleash hell. Iran should not miscalculate again.
Tough words, certainly from Caroline Leavitt at the podium there. And then it's just kind of like the question is, well, everyone is saying you can't take Iran just by air. So what is the next step?
Right. You can't do that. I mean, and, the president has always wanted the Iranian people to rise up to take over, but they don't have any weapons. They don't have any way to do that.
Mm-hmm.
Only way you get that is maybe to, drop some weapons in there or have people, come in and give them weapons. But other than that, these people are afraid. They've already sent out text messages saying, if you come out and protest, we're going to kill you.
Yeah. Here's Caroline Leavitt from yesterday.
But if Iran fails to accept the reality of the current moment, if they fail to understand that they have been defeated militarily and will continue to be, President Trump will ensure they are hit harder than they have ever been hit before.
So this is where they are at as the administration. And again, this 15-point plan that the United States allegedly sent over through the intermediaries in Pakistan, the Iranians have completely dismissed that.
Yeah.
But they have been. Publicly, they've been completely dismissing that there are any sort of talks going on, although there are reports that, when you're behind closed doors, Iranian officials are saying, there are some sort of negotiations going on. So it's one of those situations where I really, it doesn't feel like the president wants to take any further military action.
He doesn't, but he will.
I don't think he wants to, but
No.
I think he's prepared to, is
He
what it sounds like to me. Meanwhile, Savannah Guthrie spoke to Hoda Kotb in her first interview since her mother's disappearance. We'll tell you what she said coming up next on JR Morning.
Hi, I'm Adam Devine, Chief Fundraiser for Children's Miracle Network. No. I said more fun! When I was a kid, a Children's Miracle Network hospital helped me get back on my feet, literally. So trust me when I say that these places aren't just hospitals.
Hey, Jamie.
They are hope factories. Children's Miracle Network is hospitals, programs, partners, and donors like you. Join us in making big change for all kids. Visit us online at cmn.org.
Vince Colonnese is redefining news talk with The Vince Show.
It is a reflection of your response to this program that we get to take this thing to the next level. These gigantic shows. This is going to be so much fun. It's unbelievable.
In-depth interviews, live caller interactions, and a front row seat to the most important conversations of the day.
I've got updates. I've got big stories. We'll sort through the truth of what's really going on. So buckle up. Here it comes.
The Vince Show. Follow and listen on your favorite platform.
It's Ryan Armani with Eric from Paramount Roofing. When you hear 5-star experience, what does that mean to you?
To me, it means communicating exactly what we are doing to your home, having respect for your home, delivering the best quality material, crew, and the one we take pride in, satisfaction guaranteed. At Paramount Roofing, we bring the 5-star experience to every roofing project with no deposit required.
Get a 5-star roofing experience with Paramount and get 5 years, 0% interest financing at weareroofing.com. That's weareroofing.com.
People can't have access to quality medical care without affordable health insurance. At Blue Cross Blue Shield of Michigan, we understand increasing health insurance costs are becoming more of a strain on the budgets of the businesses and people we serve. Affordability matters. It affects real families, real decisions, and real care. That's why at Blue Cross, we're dedicated to finding solutions. To learn about this critical issue and our efforts to make healthcare affordable for all, visit mibluedaily.com/affordability today.
Fox News, I'm CJ Papa. Israel claims another top Iranian military official has been taken out.
IRGC Navy Commander Ali Reza Tangsiri was targeted overnight in a strike in the city of Bandar Abbas, Iran. Tangsiri was directly responsible for commanding the closure of the Strait of Hormuz.
That's Fox's Tradings in Tel Aviv. High security in New York City. Former Venezuelan leader Nicolas Maduro appears this morning at a hearing before a federal judge.
Several issues are expected to be discussed, including how the sides will handle evidence to be shared and presented, and possibly Maduro's motion to dismiss charges, including narco-terrorism, cocaine importation, and weapons counts.
Fox's Colonel Scott reporting the U.S. military arrested Maduro and his wife in Venezuela nearly 3 months ago. America's listening to Fox News.
WJR Traffic and Weather First.
This report is sponsored by MapQuest.
Before smartphones, there was MapQuest. Before GPS, there was MapQuest. Before Google Maps, there was MapQuest. And guess what? MapQuest is back. Now on your phone. No printer required. Download the MapQuest app on the App Store or visit mapquest.com.
One accident on the roads this morning, northbound 75 after 4th Street. It's taking up the 2 center lanes. Traffic's backed up to Outer Drive. Construction-wise, telegraph in both directions between Voorhees and Elizabeth Lake Road. Left lane closed there till 3 p.m. tomorrow. Westbound 8 Mile between John R. and Woodward. Left lane closed there till tomorrow as well. Now, WJR weather first from the Weather Channel. Partly cloudy this morning. Rain showers this afternoon, a high of 67. Right now, it's 49. We could see severe thunderstorms early tonight with a low of 28. Cloudy, much colder tomorrow with a high of 39. I'm Renee Vitale, WJR Traffic and Weather First.
Sponsored by Femininio Law. GetDavidGetPaid.com. Traffic and Weather is sponsored by Femininio Law. Get David, get paid.
After an accident, help shouldn't be on hold. That's why only Femininio Law has the Accident Response Team. We work for you, we meet with doctors, we preserve the evidence. Call 855-65-CRASH or visit GetDavidGetPaid.com.
This is a special alert to all Americans who own a vehicle with less than 200,000 miles with an auto warranty about to expire or with no warranty coverage at all. Due to a decline in the economy, CarShield is announcing a low-cost month-to-month vehicle protection plan that is now available to the public to save any driver out-of-pocket on future auto repairs. Call now to find out how you can pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. Yes, you heard that correctly. Pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. An open phone line has been established for all drivers to call for a free quick quote. Call 800-478-6430 now. Drivers who are covered will not have to pay for covered repairs again. This protection plan is at an all-time low. Additionally, drivers who activate this vehicle protection today will also receive free roadside assistance, free towing, and car rental options at no additional cost. Call us for your free quick quote today. 800-478-6430. That's 800-478-6430. What do you have to lose? Call 800-478-6430. Again, 800-478-6430.
When every square foot counts, your storage should make the most of it. Shop durable solutions that maximize space and improve efficiency, from modular offices and Unirack pallet racking to storage bins and lockers.
Shelving.com, we rack your world.
Your child's education is the foundation for tomorrow's leaders. Listen Sundays at 3 p.m. for School Talks, hosted by Dr. Robert Livernoy. Sponsored by Must Construction Careers. Learn more at mustcareers.org. Buddy's Pizza, the official pizza of NCAA tournament coverage on WJR. Buddy's iconic squares and crispy, crunchy corners have made memories in the Motor City since 1946. Celebrate 80 years of the original Detroit-style pizza at your local Buddy's today.
Detroit fans, the Lions are returning to international play, and you have to be there.
True Fan Travel is taking game day to the next level with the ultimate Germany experience.
Picture this, an all-inclusive, stress-free trip to cheer on Detroit and Munich.
You can join my friend Lomas Brown in Deutschland for a 5-night unforgettable fan experience.
Authentic German culture, exclusive fan events, and plenty of time to explore the country's dynamic city and historic charm.
From world-class beer gardens and traditional cuisine to iconic landmarks and electric football energy.
True Fan Travel will handle it all. Your flight, hotel, game tickets, tailgate, meet and greet, and more.
Take your fandom further and place your deposit today for Detroit in Munich at truefantravel.com.
That's truefantravel.com.
When your money's on the line, are you okay with a basic free tax service? Get the confidence of TurboTax with free Fed and state filing on Intuit Credit Karma. Around 37% of filers qualify. Simple 1040s only. See details at turbotax.com/free.
Stay here for All Talk with Kevin Dietz at 9. Now back to JR Morning with Chris Renwick, Lloyd Jackson, and Jamie Edmonds on WJR, where Michigan comes to talk.
You know, I don't want this to come across crass or mean or anything like that. I think we in the media, we go through these cycles, right?
Yeah.
We try to cover the big stories that everybody's talking about. I feel like once this thing with Iran kind of sprung up, there's no doubt that that's where a lot of our attention's going, because that's where a lot of your attention's going.
Yes.
You're paying attention to the big news stories, and obviously going into Iran with military action is a big deal.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Before that, it was the Nancy Guthrie investigation.
Yep.
I will say, it felt like people were getting a little fatigued by it.
Even before
the Iran thing. Because there was no movement in the case. Every possible report of a new break or a new piece of evidence came up empty. There was just nothing happening. And I think it was frustrating people, for the family.
Oh, absolutely.
And the fact that this, elderly woman is still missing and nobody knows where she is and nobody seems to have any clue as to what path they should follow to find her. So I think people were feeling fatigued by it. Do you guys feel that way?
Yeah, I do. I think it was just what you said, that, things were not happening. They were not getting any good information. The information that they got, they would check it out. It would turn up nothing. And so, there was some fatigue there and frustration for the family. And I understand that.
Yeah.
Well, I feel like that may be true from the audience, but from a journalistic perspective, there just wasn't anything new to advance the story. So They didn't have anything to continue reporting on. And that's why it sort of fell off.
Well, now Savannah Guthrie sat down with Hoda Kotb, and they're going to run the full interview, as I understand it, today and tomorrow.
Today and tomorrow, yeah.
But they did release a clip yesterday. I want to play for you what the conversation between Hoda Kotb and Savannah Guthrie sounded like. And this is somebody whose mother is still missing and is just looking for answers.
Someone needs to do the right thing. We are in agony.
Yeah.
We are in agony. It is unbearable. And to think of what she went through. I wake up every night, in the middle of the night, every night. And in the darkness, I imagine her terror. And it is unthinkable.
Really just unbelievable. One of the things that Hoda said yesterday on the Today Show was, I can't believe that she's able to sit there. I can't believe she's able to put an outfit on and sit there and talk about this. Obviously, one of the things that Savannah Guthrie and she, talked a little bit about it there. She's talked about it in some of the videos that she's released since her mother had gone missing, but leaning a lot into her faith, obviously. People praying, and she feels like we feel it, the family feels it, so we know that she feels it as well. But the gumption to be able to sit there and answer those questions and talk about it.
It's hard, but her and Hoda are close, and they've been friends for years. They have that relationship, and audiences I think feel personally connected to both of them. So when they sit down and do this interview, when you see this interview, it seems more like real life friendship than kind of scripted. So
yeah, and I also think that because the story has faded from a lot of people's top of minds, that's another reason why she sat down with her friend Hoda to talk about this. Like, let's get this back up to the headlines so, her mother can be found.
Yeah.
And that investigation is still very much active.
It's still active.
Still ongoing,
Yeah.
obviously. They haven't found Nancy Guthrie yet. Meanwhile, this YouTube and Meta decision yesterday by this jury in Los Angeles, I couldn't help but think about what the ramifications of this mean. Because we all know what social media is. We've all gone down the rabbit hole. We've all doom scrolled. We've all been in that position where you look at the clock and it's 5:30, and next time you look at 6:45 and you're like, oh my God, what happened here? What just happened? It's just blur.
Yes.
Well, so this jury found that there was negligence on behalf of these social media companies, Meta in particular and YouTube. And that is what contributed to this very young girl who is now 11 years later. She's 20 years old now. But at the time was just 6 years old when she started using YouTube, and 9 when she started using Instagram. And it contributed to a whole host of mental health issues or body image issues. And it impacted her even to this day. So they awarded her $3 million in damages. And so I can't help but think of what the ramifications of this are and what that means then going forward for all of these cases that are following that same vein, that I have all of these issues as a result of my social media use.
Yeah, and people are wondering now, does this open the door for this product liability argument in a bunch of cases? And the Meta, YouTube, all these internet platforms saying they can't be held liable for third-party content posted on their platforms. It wasn't their content. People are posting on their platform. So that's their argument, but the juries did not agree.
And I'm thinking too, does this speed up, the call for government regulation? And I know they want to regulate these companies. These lawsuits and what's happening, does that get the lawmakers talking and getting that regulation going again?
I mean, there has been a lot of regulation in some senses on these social media companies. To me, I can't get over the fact that, there are a lot of harmful things out there for kids, right?
Yes.
There's a lot of things out there that kids should not be either exposed to or use because of they are in full development mode.
Sure. They're soaking up everything.
They're soaking up everything.
Yes.
And any deviation from what's good can turn out to be not beneficial for you in the long run.
Yeah.
And I just cannot understand how and I'm not blaming anybody here, but just because I'm in this seat right now. Jamie, you're in this seat right now.
Yeah.
You didn't deal with it as much.
I didn't deal with it as much. Yeah,
right? You didn't deal with it because your kids are older.
Yeah.
So
but I'm dealing with my grandbabies though.
Sure,
with the
absolutely.
grandkids. Yes.
So but you see this and it's like, this isn't good in small doses. Yeah, you want to watch a silly video about slime like they do in my house. God bless. We'll watch a marble race from time to time. All good. But to sit there and just have unfettered access or to have hours and hours of it's not good.
No.
So I think there needs to be some parental involvement here to say, no, you can't do that.
Parents have to have some responsibility.
And that's hard work, Jamie. I mean, it's hard work. Sometimes you just want to go take the iPad.
Yeah.
I got to go cook dinner.
There, right.
Right.
Exactly.
Sometimes that's the case, but it can't be.
It's a no for me, dog.
Yeah. It's not something you can do all the time.
Well, and I'm trying to figure things out. We're all trying to do that with our kids. And, through the Anxious Generation book, I've read that having the iPad in their hand or my phone, let's say in her hand, is worse than if she's sitting in front of the TV. So I'm like, okay, she can watch a couple YouTube videos on our big TV, then I can turn it off. So I'm trying to limit iPad and phone use.
Yeah,
that's a good idea.
That's a good point too. Yeah. Coming up on the other side, we are getting closer to the deadline to file your taxes. What do you need to know if you haven't done them yet? We'll talk about it coming up on JR Morning.
This is a special alert to all Americans who own a vehicle with less than 200,000 miles with an auto warranty about to expire or with no warranty coverage at all. Due to a decline in the economy, CarShield is announcing a low-cost month-to-month vehicle protection plan that is now available to the public.
Are you able
save
to do
any
that,
driver
Jamie?
out-of-pocket expenses on future
Yeah,
auto repairs.
I'm going to do that
Call
right
now
now.
to find out
Try
how
that.
you can pay almost nothing for covered
But I
auto
kind of
repairs.
liked having
Yes, you heard
one
that
thing
correct.
up on the
Pay
big one,
almost
but
nothing
that's
for
okay.
covered auto repairs.
Yeah,
An open phone line
email
has been
ding came
established
through
for
like
all
3
drivers to
times.
call for a
All
free
right,
quick quote.
can I just
Call
take my
800-478-6430
email off and maybe keep one
now.
thing up
Drivers
on
who
the
are
big
covered
one?
will not have to pay for covered repairs.
Like the big
again.
one has
This
a
protection
StreamYard,
plan
so
is at an
that's
all-time
you know what I'm
low.
talking about.
Additionally,
And then
drivers
do
who
everything else
activate
on the
this
little
vehicle
one.
protection
Yeah,
today
right.
will
Yep.
also receive
That's
free
exactly what I
roadside
do when I'm at
assistance,
home,
free
yeah.
towing,
Trying
and
to
car
have,
rental
like,
options at
a
no
world
additional
clock
cost.
up,
Call
too,
us
so
for
I
your
can
free quick
see
quote today.
what time it
800-478-6430. That's 800-478-6430. What do you have to lose? Call
It'd be so much easier to just come in.
800-478-6430.
Oh,
Again,
yeah.
800-478-6430.
Hey, Jim Harper here. Like many
So
of
see,
you,
Ray
I
should have
had
gave you a
LASIK
clock.
surgery back in the 80s. And
No, he did
recently
not.
I started having trouble seeing, and it turns out they never told us LASIK doesn't last.
Unless they didn't
forever.
have an extra
So
one.
now
but-
what? Glasses? I haven't worn glasses in years, and I'm as vain as the next person. But then I remembered Mario.
Yeah, on your like Brian just said on your phone, maybe you can find the world clock on the phone and just have your phone have the world time in the background.
Frame stylists. You can't get
Right
that
now,
on
I
the
have the
web or a
world
big
clock
box,
up on
and
the big
nobody has a
computer. I
bigger
don't think there's
selection of
sounds on
designer
that
frames
website.
No, that'd be
than
fine. Yeah,
direct
that should be
optical
fine.
optique. And Mariana still knows everybody by name. She's still selling cool glasses, one pair at a time with a very personal touch. So if you wear glasses now or are wearing them again, you got to go to Direct Optical Optique and let them treat you like a star. They're the only ones who can do that. 2 great locations, Haggerty Road north of Maple in West Bloomfield, and in Canton on Ford Road next to IKEA. OptiqueDetroit.com on the web.
Are you tired of exposing your retirement savings to stock market risk? There are strategies you can use to keep your money safe no matter what happens in the stock market. Join us for Money Talks with Joseph Uplager, Saturdays at 5 p.m. right here on WJR 760.
No matter where you look, rising costs are hitting Michiganders hard. And when you're forced to make tough choices, keeping the lights and heat on shouldn't be one of them. Consumers Energy is stepping up, giving back $5 million to assistance agencies and supporting efforts to increase energy assistance dollars for families in need by 50%. And with personalized energy savings programs, you can take steps to start reducing your energy bills today. So count on Consumers Energy for support. Learn more at consumersenergy.com/help.
Escape to the greens with the Cardinal Stay and Play Golf Package at St. John's Resort. Enjoy luxury accommodations and 1 round of golf for 2 on the beautiful Cardinal Golf Course, plus unlimited rounds on the Little Cardinal and the putting course. Whether you're sharpening your short game or chasing the perfect drive, it's the ultimate getaway for golfers of every level. Relax, play, and make unforgettable memories. Book your Stay and Play experience today at stjohnsresort.com. Explore food security through stories, strategies, and solutions that empower communities and inspire action. Hear thought leaders from across the state on Food Secure Nation with Dr. Phil Knight and Jerry Brisson. Sunday nights at 9 on 760 WJR. Sponsored by Know Better, Do Better.
Here with J&E Installations, Jeff Esker. If someone is shopping for new windows and doors this season, they're going to find what they need at J&E, right?
Yeah, we're a certified pellet contractor. We also carry Marvin windows. We also are a certified Thermo 2 door dealer. At J&E Installation, you'll have peace of mind because we guarantee all our workmanship.
Because it's a big purchase.
We understand purchasing new windows and doors is a huge investment, and we take that very seriously at J&E Installation.
Call 248-473-6999 or visit jneinstallation.com.
WJR traffic and weather first.
This report is sponsored by Think It Up. Think It Up is an initiative to activate student-powered, teacher-led learning projects. Students and teachers, how can you spark great learning experiences in your classrooms today? Join at thinkitup.org.
We have one crash slowing you down on the roadways this morning, and that's at northbound 75 after 4th Street. It's taking up the 2 center lanes. Traffic's backed up to Southfield Road. Telegraph in both directions between Voorhees and Elizabeth Lake. That left lane closed for construction until 3 o'clock tomorrow. Left lane also closed on westbound 8 Mile between John R. and Woodward till tomorrow. Now, WJR weather first from the Weather Channel. Here's your forecast.
Storms forecast to get here probably after 5 o'clock today. Showers, thunderstorms around, mainly in the afternoon and evening hours, 67 degrees today. Those storms will end early tonight. The front will sweep through. We're in the upper 20s by Friday morning with clouds Back at hanging 30, around. Jim. Suburbs are going to be even colder. A little bit of a breeze, too. It's going to put a chill in the air on Friday with sunshine, high only 40. From the Weather Channel, I'm meteorologist Ray Stagicon, 760 WJR, where Michigan comes to talk.
Call us or text us. The number's the same. 1-800-859-0957.
Still working on the guest.
1-800-859-0WJR. Powered by Michigan Auto Law. Auto Accident Attorneys. Visit autolaw.com. That's autolaw.com.
All right, so the tax deadline is approaching. Have you filed your taxes?
Huh?
Have you filed it?
No.
What was that answer?
Huh? What? Seems like a no from
I
Lloyd.
have not yet, but
You haven't yet?
No. But yeah, I will. It will be done before the 15th. I'm not going to file fully.
Jamie, did you get them done too?
I got them done. I met with the tax accountant last week.
Oh, good. Yeah,
Okay.
we're good. All done.
You're good, too?
Yep, all done.
Okay.
I try to get them done. It's funny when
I
I
usually
was
don't wait this long too. I usually don't.
when I was younger, and it's actually a little bit my personality. It's a lot of my personality.
Uh-huh.
If when I was younger, I waited till the last minute to do it. The very last minute. I would just put it off and put it off and put it off.
Uh-huh.
And my wife is the exact opposite. She's like, let's get this thing done. Like, I don't want to I don't want to think about it. I don't want to do it at all. And I'm like, fair enough. So like there was a couple times when she's like, all right, let's do taxes this weekend, or let's get them going. And I'm like, yeah. I don't know. But there's still a lot of information for people to know.
Yeah, it is. And, if you're thinking about filing a tax extension this year, there's an important detail a lot of people miss, Chris. I mean, the extension gives you until October 15th to file.
Mm-hmm.
But it doesn't give you more time to pay what you owe.
Sure, of course not.
Still the 15th.
Of course not.
Yeah. So you need to file the proper extension form by then. And, if you owe money, you got to send it in. And joining us now to break it all down to make sure you don't get caught off guard is Maria Monti. She's a partner in CPA with Schindel Rock. Maria, good morning.
Good morning.
When people hear tax extension, they think they get more time for everything. What does an extension actually cover?
Right. No, like you were saying earlier, it only really just gives you an extension of time to file, not pay. So getting that money paid in by April 15th or as your best guess that you can come up with is key. And that's also what drives the consequences for not doing it properly is the penalties. So as long as you file an extension, that at least holds off the penalties for a little bit, even if you do owe money after and haven't paid it in by April 15th.
But you should probably send something in on the 15th if it's not everything.
Right. As best as you can get to what you think the balance is going to be due is what you should have paid in by April 15th. But
Maria,
go ahead.
Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt. You can finish your thought.
I was going to say, even if you think you're going to owe a larger amount and you can't pay in the whole amount, then at least something, if you can pay in, that will reduce the amount of penalties that are due. Again, because the penalties are based on the amount that was not paid in by April 15th and should have been. So if you can pay some of it in, then the penalty is only based on the remaining portion that's going to be due.
Well, what I was going to say is it always feels like when you have to pay something, they cash that check right away, but then you don't get the deposit you need very quickly. But I was excited because, the big, beautiful bill was supposed to give people savings when it comes to their taxes. And when I sat down with my accountant, the standard deduction was higher, and that did help us.
Right.
So I was excited.
So there's a computation that has to be done. All things being equal, your income from last year to this year, then more than likely you're going to have a lower tax amount due this year. And if you had a balance due last year, then that balance due this year should be smaller. But hopefully it's a refund. And that, from the last conversation we had a couple of weeks ago, I am actually seeing clients with higher refunds. They are getting that overtime or that the senior deduction or the tax brackets, not the tax rate, but the bracket amount has gone up. So like you were saying, there is a little bit less taxes due because you've got more in the lower bracket. So
it's you took the words out of my mouth. I was wondering what you were actually seeing from people when you were doing their taxes.
Yeah, and there was a report that came out a couple weeks ago showing that the average refunds were up by about, I think it was $1,500 was the differential from the year before. So that the average refund ended up being between $2,500 and $3,000 right now.
Wow.
Now, my question too, Maria, once you file that extension, October 15th becomes like that new deadline. Can you extend it again if you're still not ready?
There are some circumstances that you can actually extend it again. It's a much more formal process than just doing it online or through the website. And there's a couple of reasons for that. There can be, very extenuating circumstances. And there's also disaster relief that comes along too for areas that are impacted by hurricanes or fires, tornadoes, things like that.
Maria Monti, partner with CPA at Shindle Rock. We appreciate you coming on, giving us some information. I'm going to get my taxes done. I'm going to get them done. Before the 15th. I will get them done.
Okay.
Thank you,
All right.
Maria.
Thank you.
Have a good one.
No extension for you.
No extension.
Maria sounded a little concerned, Lloyd. You better get him done.
Yes.
I got to get on the board. Yeah. I'm going to get it done. It'll be done. The thing is, you always say, okay, I'm going to get it done. I'm going to get it done. And then you turn around and it's like April 15th. You'd be like, oh, I got to get it done.
Well, yeah. And again, when I was younger and if I had to owe,
I'd
be like, yeah, I'm not filing till
to the last
till 11:59. I'm not doing it. You're not getting my money any sooner.
Any sooner. That's right.
Any sooner. But again, it's a whirlwind, right? Everybody gets caught up in their life. Everybody gets busy.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden you're like, it's almost April and I got to get this done.
Got to get it. Yeah.
Before the deadline. Meanwhile, the Wall Street Journal has an interesting piece. Donald Trump telling aides he wants a speedy end to the Iran war, telling associates that he hopes to bring this to an end.
Okay.
Close this thing out. And we're almost into that month-long mark. We're certainly into week 4. And these advisors, he's telling them in private to stick to that 4 to 6 week timeline, that he doesn't want to go over that. And that's what he said publicly.
Sure.
He said 4, 5, 6 weeks.
Yep.
That's the range.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we are on the front end of that.
We're on 4 right now, right? This is week 4, right?
Week 4.
Mm-hmm.
And he says that he wants it done in that time frame. There's not many easy options for ending this, but he says that the peace negotiations now are vitally important to that, to getting this wrapped up. And again, it's all predicated on how much Iran's going to want to play ball here.
Right. Even though they act like they don't.
Well, also in that piece, it talks about how he's sort of focusing on some other things too, like the midterms and such.
Yeah, because the political fallout here could be pretty steep.
A lot of balls in the air, man.
I mean, again, we talked a little bit about it yesterday, Jamie, but the fact that a couple Democrats in Florida, but one in Mar-a-Lago, in that district, want to
She's neighbors with Trump.
Yes. Yeah.
Yes.
So, I mean, again, is it foreshadowing? I don't know, but it is something significant, at least to mention at the very least. 7 o'clock hour coming up. We join Dr. Steve Craig on the couch.
Did you know about 1 in 3 people with plaque psoriasis may also develop psoriatic arthritis, which causes joint pain, stiffness, and swelling? Does this sound like you? Listen to what it sounds like to be a million miles away. Tremfya guselkumab, taken by injection, is a prescription medicine for adults with moderate to severe plaque psoriasis who may benefit from taking injections or pills or phototherapy, and for adults with active psoriatic arthritis. Serious allergic reactions and increased risk of infections and liver problems may occur. Before treatment, your doctor should check you for infections and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor if you have an infection, flu-like symptoms, or if you need a vaccine. Imagine being a million miles away. Explore what's possible. Ask your doctor about Tremfya. Visit Tremfya.com or call 1-800-526-7736.
Do you have an IRA or 401k? You want to think of this as being your money. But remember, you still have to pay taxes when you withdraw this money in retirement. And these taxes, well, they could be a lot higher than you know. Learn how you could reduce or potentially eliminate these taxes with a free retirement tax savings analysis. It's from the Brzezinski Group, a second-generation financial advisory firm right here in Metro Detroit. If you've saved at least $250,000, schedule your free analysis now by calling 800-641-3361. This free analysis could save you tens of thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of dollars in taxes in retirement. Call 800-641-3361 That's 800-641-3361. Investment advisory services offered only by duly registered individuals through AE Wealth Management, LLC. Firm does not provide legal or tax advice.
This is the great voice of the Great Lakes, 760 WJR, Detroit, a Cumulus media station.
Another Iranian military leader taken out. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News.
There's never been a head of a country that wanted that job less than being the head of Iran.
That was President Trump last night. He also still insists Iran badly wants to make a deal to end the conflict, though Iran state media reports they've rejected a U.S. proposal. A Trump Truth Social post early this morning, the president wrote they better get serious soon before it's too late. Now, the latest leader targeted by Israel is an Iranian Navy commander.
We understand the battle damage assessment is ongoing, but they believe that he was killed in this strike. It was a targeted strike based on U.S. and Israeli intelligence.
Fox's Trey Yingst in Tel Aviv.
The Iranians are continuing their ballistic missile attacks against Israel, launching 7 separate barrages since this morning. The Israelis are hunting down these launching positions. They still say that more than 150 of those launchers do remain.
There are polls showing Americans don't support the U.S. military action. In Iran, only 42% are in favor in a new Fox News survey. Nicolas Maduro, the captured Venezuelan leader now jailed in the U.S., goes back to federal court this morning, along with his wife. They're both facing drug and narco terror charges.
The judge could rule on a motion by Maduro's defense team to throw out the case on the grounds that his Sixth Amendment rights are being violated. Now, they argue that that's happening because the U.S. government is blocking the Venezuelan government from paying Maduro's legal fees.
Fox's Nate Foy outside the court in New York City. The Trump administration argues Maduro's not Venezuela's legitimate leader. Lines will probably be hours long again today at some airports. TSA agents remain unpaid over a standoff in Homeland Security funding.
The TSA says U.S. air travelers are now experiencing some of the longest wait times in history. And when you dive into the numbers, it's no wonder. Since this began, nearly 500 TSA agents have simply thrown in the towel and quit.
That's Fox's Doug Luzader. They'll miss another paycheck tomorrow. America's listening to Fox News.
WJR traffic and weather first.
This report is sponsored by Guardian Alarm. Metro Detroit business owners, take your security system to the next level with Guardian Alarm. From video surveillance to fire protection and more, Guardian Alarm will install the ideal security system for your business and budget. Call 1-800-STAY-OUT for your free security consultation.
Northbound 75 after 4th Street. Still have that accident taking up the 2 center lanes. Traffic's backed up to Dix Highway. Slow travel on westbound 94 between 9 Mile and Vernier, and Telegraph in both directions between Voorhees and Elizabeth Lake Road. That left lane closed for construction until 3 p.m. tomorrow. Now, WJR weather first from the Weather Channel. An interesting day in store today. Partly cloudy this morning. Rain showers will move in this afternoon, going up to 67. Right now it's 50. Then we could see severe thunderstorms early tonight that could produce hail and large and wind with a low of 28. Cloudy and much colder tomorrow with a high of 39. I'm Renee Vitale, WJR traffic and weather first.
Crystal here from Family Heating, Cooling, and Electrical to let you know that our technicians are here to make sure your home keeps you comfortable all year long, and will never sell you anything you don't need. Visit familyheating.com and call to schedule your free no-pressure estimate today.
For more than 35 years, MetroCars has set the standard for professional transportation across Michigan and beyond. MetroCars is proud to serve as the official transportation provider of 760 WJR. Executives and business travelers trust MetroCars for dependable airport transportation and seamless corporate travel. From early morning departures to late night arrivals, their professional chauffeurs ensure every ride is punctual, comfortable, and stress-free. Choose MetroCars. MetroCars.com.
A Social Security update. 70 million Americans collect Social Security benefits today, and millions more will join soon. Now, a new study finds 70% of Americans don't get the full benefits they deserve. But recipients can use simple strategies to boost Social Security benefits by as much as $188,000 over a lifetime. Social Security expert Michael Allen says it's true and reveals 5 key strategies to increase your benefits. It's all in his free special report from Newsmax. Newsmax calls the report your best guide for bigger Social Security benefits. Whether you're getting benefits or soon will, you need this Social Security report from Newsmax. Get it free. Call 800-999-9690. 800-999-9690.
Back in 30,
We'll text
Jamie.
it to you right away, along with President Trump's act cutting your Social Security taxes. Call now, 800-999-9690. 800-999-9690. Text and data rates may apply.
Buddy's Pizza, the official pizza of NCAA tournament coverage on WJR. Buddy's iconic squares and crispy, crunchy corners have made memories in the Motor City since 1946. Celebrate 80 years of the original Detroit-style pizza at your local Buddy's today.
It's another JR Morning with Chris Renwick, Lloyd Jackson, and Jamie Edmonds on 760 WJR and streaming on WJR.com, where Michigan comes to talk.
All right, 7 o'clock hour. Tigers get their season started today. I always am a little more partial to starting your season at home. That's how I like it.
Yeah.
Personally. But they kick things off in San Diego against the Padres. 4:10 first pitch.
Scooble's on the mound.
Scooble's on the mound,
Yay!
which is good. By the way, did you guys like the decision that he made to drop out of the World Baseball Classic for Team USA?
Well, if you're a Tigers fan, you like it. You do not need that guy getting hurt.
Yeah.
I mean, that was my contention.
Exactly.
I'm like, no, you pitched good. Now leave. If Paul Skeens wants to blow his arm out, that's Jamie's problem. That ain't my problem.
No.
He's on my fantasy team. No.
All right, fair enough. Nobody wants Paul Skeens to get hurt. All right, here's the deal. If you are a Tiger fan, if you're excited for the start of the season, the question was, how am I going to watch these games? Well, now we have at least some channels for you if you are a cable payer, if you still pay for your cable. So Comcast and Xfinity, you'll be tuning into channel 1253. Charter and Spectrum, 1213 in the Detroit markets. Livonia, 291. Toledo, Fort Wayne, you are in channel 307 or 1307. DirecTV, channel 663-1 for DirecTV. Uverse, if you are a Uverse subscriber, 739 or 1739, and you'll be able to catch these games. But we didn't know that until yesterday.
24 hours before.
Right.
Before the game starts.
Right. So it was very much on the back end of it, but they were trying to negotiate a place for these games to live because they're out of FanDuel and they have now gone to the Detroit Sports Net. And so as a result of that, they had to renegotiate with local providers, and they did. So you will be able to watch Tigers games, but there are a lot of people worried.
I just know whenever things like this would happen at Local 4, the calls would start coming in. How do I watch the Tigers? Where are the Tigers?
Yeah.
They are going to get a ton of phone calls today.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, and the problem is if you, like I mentioned earlier, I was at my mom's yesterday when the news came out, and she said, where can I watch it?
Mhm.
Because she's got YouTube TV.
Yeah.
And so I went on and I was looking for it, and you can't get it on there. So she will have to buy, they'll have to pay $20 a month or $190 for the year and watch it that way.
So is she going to do it? Who's her
My
Tiger? Yeah.
My mom will buy it. Yeah. She'll just pay the $190 or whatever.
Yeah, for the year.
And be done for the year. But yeah, she loves baseball. She's she's not quite into the analytics and statistics and all that, but she's a big fan. Funny enough, because she was born in Pennsylvania. When she was a kid, she would listen to Ernie Harwell on WJR do Tiger games.
My sister,
that was the reach.
My sister is the same way, man. My older sister said, when you heard Ernie, you smelled popcorn and hot dogs through the radio.
Yep. So yeah, we love baseball in our family. Meanwhile, in Iran, Donald Trump says that he's telling people, according to the Wall Street Journal, behind closed doors, want to wrap this thing up. We're into week 4. We want it somewhere in 4, 5, 6. That's was the target. That's where they are still targeting at this point. But newer news this morning is that one of the commanders who was responsible for shutting down the Strait of Hormuz, Ali Rezi Tangsiri, was apparently killed by the IDF in strikes. And again, he was one of the main drivers in the Strait of Hormuz action by Iran. So that is significant. What that means, again, we don't know. We've taken out a lot of their leaders and they've found different folks to fill those voids. But he is the commander, was the commander of the Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps Navy. So he was targeted in those Israeli strikes.
Besides the health officials saying in Washington County that we have this 7th case of measles in an unvaccinated child, we now have a new COVID-19 variant as well. BA.3.2 has been detected in more than 24 states, including Michigan. Part of the Omicron family, this variant carries 70 to 75 mutations in the spike protein, which may allow it to spread more easily and partially evade immunity from previous infection or vaccination. And while only a handful of patient cases have been confirmed, wastewater testing shows it's likely more widespread. So far, infections appear mild, similar to a cold or the flu, and there's no evidence it causes more severe illness. Health officials stress that vaccines remain the best protection, especially for adults over 65, infants, and those with chronic conditions. Even as BA.3.2 emerges, staying up to date on COVID vaccines helps prevent serious illness and keeps vulnerable populations safe. So we're dealing with the measles in Washington County, and Michigan is dealing with the new variant. Got to be on top of these things here.
Yeah. Go ahead, Jamie.
I was just going to talk about the Pistons and how they, lost in overtime to the Atlanta Hawks. But to my point that we made in the other hour is that they're still good without Cade. Like, I think that bears noting that they can still play without Cade. Now, they allowed a lot of first half points against the Hawks. They don't like that, but they're still working.
Yeah.
They're just very gritty.
And they are very gritty. They are very gritty. They work Cade is out. They're still playing hard, and their bench is great too. So I'm not worried about them on the East. It's just when we get to deal with the West.
Well, if we get an opportunity to play a team from the West, that's great because we'll be playing in the finals.
Yeah,
exactly.
So that'll be. I'm not worried about them yet.
Oh, absolutely not. No.
But no, I mean, to your point though, we've played a couple of teams from the West, San Antonio and OKC. Yeah, and those games have been troublesome.
Yeah,
at times. So, point made.
But I think.
But if we get to play a West team, I'll be really happy.
JB, I have them ready for it. If they get to that point.
Too. Oh, yeah. If they get to that point, they'll be okay. Yeah. 7:12, time for WJR's Business Beat, brought to you by Shelving.com. We rock your world. Here's Jeff Sloan, the founder and CEO of Startup Nation, to spotlight the entrepreneurial tech and startup community on WJR.
Good morning. In spite of all the headwinds facing consumers these days, one category that's going to be thriving in 2026 and beyond is the health and wellness category, as consumers plan to increase spending in 2026. That according to December 2025 data from Civic Science. And retailers are putting a lot of focus into attending to all that increased consumer spending outlook. They're making investments in wellness-driven products, brands, services, and in-store experiences. As reported by eMarketer, mass retailers are already the top destination for personal care and beauty purchases, with 82% of U.S. buyers having purchased these items there in the past 12 months. 47% of U.S. adults say they prefer to shop in-store for beauty and personal care products. That according to a March 2025 Think Now research data. Target has expanded its wellness assortment by 30% as part of a broader effort to reignite sales and traffic and take advantage of this increased spend. Walmart is pairing assortment growth with services like its AI-driven nutrition hub and in-person activations such as its annual wellness event. While, of course, Walmart being Walmart, cutting prices on more than 1,000 wellness-related items to make them more appealing to consumers. Another key takeaway, private label brands are getting a lot of consumer attention these days in this category, with sales of private labeled wellness, beauty, and personal care products in the U.S. rising 3.3% in the 52 weeks ending December 28, 2025. That's nearly triple the 1.2% growth rate of national brands in the category, according to Private Label Manufacturers Association. Exciting category to be sure. To win in it, though, is going to require expanded assortments, more product efficacy, transparency, and guidance, whether through clean label products, personalized digital tools, or in-store education. I'm Jeff Sloan, founder and CEO of StartupNation.com, the source for everything you need to start and grow your own business. And that's today's Business Beat on the great voice of the Great Lakes, WJR.
When every square foot counts, your storage should make the most of it. Shop durable solutions that maximize space and improve efficiency, from modular offices and unirack pallet racking to storage bins and lockers.
Shelving.com. We rack your world.
Hey, Jim Harper here. Quick story. I needed new glasses. And like many of you, I thought, well, I can go online. That's easy. But then I remembered the last time I did that, it wasn't easy. They didn't look good on me and they weren't cheap. So then what? You can't take them back to the store. It's the web. Then I remembered Direct Optical Optique. Many of you got your glasses there. You looked great and had a wonderful experience. And that's what I remembered, the experience. I remembered Mariana, Frame Stylist of the Year, and how great she and her staff were at helping me find the right frame at a good price. And that's all we want, right? And they have two great locations, Haggerty Road north of Maple in West Bloomfield, and in Canton on Ford Road next to the IKEA. Go see Mariana at Direct Optical Optique. She still knows everybody by name. 3 generations of loyal customers for a reason, because you get the attention you deserve. Direct Optical Optique in West Bloomfield and in Canton, and at OptiqueDetroit.com.
A Social Security update. 70 million Americans collect Social Security benefits today, and millions more will join soon. Now, a new study finds 70% of Americans don't get the full benefits they deserve. But recipients can use simple strategies to boost Social Security benefits by as much as $188,000 over a lifetime. Social Security expert Michael Allen says it's true and reveals 5 key strategies to increase your benefits. It's all in his free special report from Newsmax. Newsmax calls the report your best guide for bigger Social Security benefits. Whether you're getting benefits or soon will, you need this Social Security report from Newsmax. Get it free. Call 800-999-9690. 800-999-9690. We'll text it to you right away, along with President Trump's act cutting your Social Security taxes. Call now, 800-999-9690. 800-999-9690. Text and data rates may apply.
Are you concerned about outliving your money? If so, tune in to Money Talks with Joseph Uplager, Saturdays at 5 p.m. Joe will help make sure you get the retirement you deserve, Saturdays at 5 p.m., right here on WJR 760.
Listen for the SAE Ion Engineering every Monday morning on JR Morning. Ion Engineering is sponsored by CSP, the Composite Solutions Partner, an industry leader in lightweighting and advanced composites. Learn more at thecsp.com. Escape to the greens with the Cardinal Stay and Play Golf Package at St. John's Resort. Enjoy luxury accommodations and 1 round of golf for 2 on the beautiful Cardinal Golf Course, plus unlimited rounds on the Little Cardinal and the putting course. Whether you're sharpening your short game or chasing the perfect drive, it's the ultimate getaway for golfers of every level. Relax, play, and make unforgettable memories. Book your stay and play experience today at stjohnsresort.com. Join Jack Rizzula every Saturday night at 10 p.m. for Anything is Possible. Hear Jack present uplifting stories of some of the world's most remarkable people and their extraordinary life journeys. Anything is Possible. Sponsored in part by Ideal Group. We are Ideal.
Here with J&E Installations, Jeff Esker. If someone is shopping for new windows and doors this season, they're going to find what they need at J&E, right?
Yeah, we're a certified pellet contractor. We also carry Marvin windows. We also are a certified Thermo 2 door dealer. At J&E Installation, you'll have peace of mind because we guarantee all our workmanship.
Because it's a big purchase.
We understand purchasing new windows and doors is a huge investment, and we take that very seriously at J&E Installation.
Call 248-473-6999 or visit jneinstallation.com.
WJR Traffic and Weather First.
This report is sponsored by WeatherBug.
Get the fastest local alerts and accurate 24/7 forecasts with WeatherBug. It's easy to use and provides real-time customizable alerts so the weather never takes you by surprise. Plan every day with confidence. Download the free WeatherBug app from the App Store now.
No crashes on the roadways right now. However, we are seeing slower travel on westbound 94 between Connor and Van Dyke. As far as construction goes, telegraph in both directions. Between Voorhees and Elizabeth Lake Road, left lane closed there till 3 p.m. tomorrow. Left lane also closed on westbound 8 Mile between John R. and Woodward. And the eastbound 94 on-ramp from Mount Elliott is closed until 4 p.m. on Saturday. Now, WJR Weather First from the Weather Channel. Here's your forecast.
Big storms today, slight risk of severe weather could mean wind and large hail, potentially some isolated tornadoes. Clouds will thicken up, and this afternoon through this evening especially, Showers and thunderstorms erupting. 67 today. Then tonight.
Back in 30,
we'll
Dr.
drop down
Steve's
to the
here.
upper 20s when the storms end, probably before midnight. Clouds a good way to sunshine tomorrow, but a colder day, high 40. From the Weather Channel, I'm meteorologist Ray Stajic, 760 WJR, where Michigan comes to talk.
Coming up at 2 o'clock on JR Afternoon, we hear so much about data centers. What do we need to know about them, and why are so many people against having one in the state of Michigan near you? 760 WJR.
All right, let's get on the couch. Let's figure it all out. We'll figure out all of our problems right here this morning.
I'm just trying the hardest.
We'll just figure it all out, Jamie.
Just try my hardest is my favorite bite from Tommy Fleetwood's
trying my
Child.
hardest.
There it is. All right, we're going to solve everything today.
What's
in
up,
the next
Dr.
10
Steve? How
minutes.
are
Let's
you?
go. I'm good. How are you guys?
We're good to see you.
Right. All right.
All right, what do you got?
We'll see how we end up today here with you guys. Dr. Steve, I've been at my current company now for 10 years. I told myself and everyone I knew when I started here that this was my dream job at my dream company and that I was the lucky one who got the right breaks. But so far, I've only had one small promotion. Everyone tells me I need to leave because after this long, it's just not going to happen. But at this point, I've invested 10 years in learning this business and in this company, so I can't just quit. Just because it hasn't happened yet doesn't mean it's not going to happen, and several other people above me are getting near retirement. But as my wife points out, no one has promised me their jobs. Always, your wife is always there in your corner, huh? I think.
Thanks, honey.
Good, yeah. Write that one down, honey. I think I need to stick it out because how can I leave when I've come this far? Isn't leaving now just quitting and proving that I failed? How do I push back against all my friends and family who tell me to just cut and run after all this time? That feels worse to me, and there's no proof that going somewhere else will be any better. What does he do?
I think he hangs in there. He's been there 10 years. He enjoys his job. He says it's his dream job. He enjoys it. And my thing is, if you enjoy it, you keep on with it. And yeah, you haven't been promoted yet. You got people who are retiring. They're watching you. And I'm sure that the higher ups are watching you. I would just listen. You could leave there and go to another job and hate it. And, I just rather be, if I'm at a job and I love it and I enjoy it, I'm there.
Lloyd says, sail that ship till you sink it. Go ahead.
All right.
That's my summary of your point there.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay.
I would also stay. I like Lloyd. He obviously likes his job, but he also says that I was the lucky one who got the right breaks. You create your own breaks.
Yes.
You work hard and you make sure that you put yourself in a position
absolutely
to actually be promoted. Now, just because he hasn't been promoted or got one small promotion doesn't mean that he's excluded from it. But on the other hand, if you haven't progressed in a certain amount within 10 years, I don't know what the company structure looks like. So maybe that is a red flag and they won't be looking for it. But he also says that nobody has promised me their jobs, which of course nobody's promised you their jobs.
Hey man, I'm retaring next year.
Yeah.
I want you to have my job.
Right. I don't think that's how it works most of the
Lloyd,
time.
you can have my job.
Yeah.
Okay.
Please don't.
No.
Don't do that. So I think for him, I would be a little more vocal to leadership. I would just be a little more vocal to leadership. And I would say, look, here's what I want. I love this company. I've given 10 years. I want to be considered. I want to make sure. And that's how I would go about it. So I wouldn't leave, but I would make it a forceful effort to try to move up the ladder.
Jamie, save us.
All right. To me, this seems like the dating apps that are out there. Like there's always something out there that you want to keep looking for and swiping right on. Do you have to do those things? Is upward mobility the only mark of success? If you like your job, do you need to be promoted? Maybe you're in the exact right role for you.
All right. So I'm going to go somewhere different with these. That's why you need my job later, Lloyd, because I'm going to do to me, the problem really isn't whether he stays or goes. It's how he's describing it and how he's thinking about it. I assume it's a he. But
okay.
To me, this is emotion disguised as logic. Okay. These are emotional decisions. But you'd be amazed at how many times I hear that particular argument used for staying, like, well, I've committed this much time
to this marriage or this
marriage or this job or this company or
Uh-huh.
whatever it is.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
And people present that like it's that is like hard, fast logic, and that makes sense. But we call that the fallacy of sunken costs. People have all this belief of, if I put this much in, I have to stick it out. But we get in so much trouble based on that. That's an emotional decision. There's no logic behind that. How much you've put in means you have to keep staying. So the reasons have to be because I love the job,
right?
Because I make this much money, because of whatever, not because I've put this much time in.
Okay.
So it's never the way, it's never what we think, it's how we think, how we got to that decision. And he's getting there based on, he's calling it logic. I've stuck in this time, but I mean, those are we do those for emotional reasons. There's a lot of good research done about why do people stick in things when it's you're just losing like crazy and they keep doubling down, like poker. People put their money in and they're in a couple rounds and they're like, well, I have to stay in. I've come in this far, and they just lose and they keep losing. It's because people, all this, social psychology and psychologist research has pointed out that people fear failure more than they value success. So they're so afraid to fail that they just keep making more and more mistakes. And so then they have decisions like this, like he's acting like, I told everyone this was the thing, and I'm afraid to be judged. I'm afraid people will think I wasted my time. Those are just the wrong reasons. So again, it doesn't matter to me whether he stays or goes. I would just talk to him about, you got to base it on the right reasons. You said like relationships. There's so many people who are like, well, I've dated this guy for years. I need to stay with him. Okay, but he's abusive.
Abusing you.
He's doing all these terrible
yes,
things.
right.
So you base it, you don't stay, well, I've been in 5 years. You say, well, it's a good relationship. He's nice to me. There's all these other things. That's the reasons, not because you put time in. So that was my problem with this, is it's not based on the right stuff. So Chris looks disturbed.
No. I get what you're saying, but he is also saying like the 10 years, but he also says, I love this job.
Well, he
is kind of,
I told
like
myself
weighing
from the
both.
beginning that this was my dream job. I don't know.
Yep, that's what it says.
Right. I don't know that he says
Has he
now.
said that he loves his job currently?
He doesn't say he loves it currently. He says when he started it, it was his dream job. Here he is 10 years later. Now, he still may love it, but he didn't say, I still love it. He said, I should stick it out because I put so much time in.
Right.
Okay.
So there is some frustration there.
There's
Obviously.
frustration. There's
Yeah.
frustration there. And it just feels like it's an emotional decision, like I said, disguised as logic. But I've got to stick it in because I told them it was a great job. I can't quit.
And if I quit, then
everyone will think I'm wasteful.
So maybe his wife's right again.
Oh, no. That was not the point. Yeah, you're focused on the wrong things. Right. Well, think of this. We like eat a meal. We order a meal at a restaurant. You eat half of it, you're full. And then we say, oh, wait, I paid for this. I got to eat the whole thing.
Right.
What is that about? Right. But why do we do that? This beer, I can't leave till I finish my beer. I paid for it. You're not getting your money back.
Right. It's over.
It's over. Just leave
Right.
the meal. But we act like that's a real reason to do things. And it's the fallacy of sunk costs. It's not a real reason.
That's very interesting.
It is.
Notice how many times
And that's
you
a
do
good
that in
analogy,
life.
too.
Yeah, I was going to say.
I'm thinking about my life.
I was going to say, I think I do this a lot, probably.
The food analogy was pretty good. I like
We're
that.
so invested. Everyone in the room is like, yeah, good point. And it's not.
But it's not like being a Lions fan.
Oh, well,
Separate issue.
We've been a fan.
That's a
all these
different
years.
fallacy.
Right. That's a different fallacy.
Whole different thing.
Very good, Jamie.
Just as the start of Tiger season, right?
Yes, exactly right. Doc, thank you. We appreciate
All right,
you.
we'll see you.
All right, more coming up on JR Morning.
If you owe back taxes, listen carefully to rule number 1. Never go up against the IRS alone. They're cracking down, freezing bank accounts, garnishing paychecks, canceling passports. Even your home or business could be at risk. But here's what they don't tell you. The IRS has powerful tax relief programs that could save you thousands if you qualify. That's why smart people call Optima Tax Relief, America's #1 tax resolution firm. Nobody knows these programs like the experts at Optima. Their team of tax attorneys and licensed professionals have resolved over $2 billion in tax debt for people just like you. The IRS is not stopping, so don't wait. And don't take them on alone. For tax help you need, for tax help you can trust, call Optima today for a free consultation.
Call 800-780-3599. 800-780-3599. 800-780-3599.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
People call Michigan Auto Law when they need help, not just because we win more million-dollar settlements than any firm in Michigan, which we do. They call because we care. We have your back. From the first call to your final settlement, we treat you like a person, not a case number. Ask our client, Sean Herrera.
Their expertise as car accident attorneys and dedication as personal injury lawyers truly stood out. They took the time to explain every detail, ensuring I felt supported and informed throughout my case.
Go to autolaw.com.
This is Keith Kingston, tax partner at Metro Detroit accounting firm Schindel Rock, with our weekly tax tip for business owners. 2025 taxes are due soon, but don't lose focus now on a business tax planning strategy for 2026 and even 2027. A proactive approach to planning year-round can reduce overall taxes in the long run and eliminate surprises next tax season. Schindel Rock helps Metro Detroit businesses solve complex tax matters. Learn more at SchindelRock.com.
Fox News, I'm Gianna Gelosi. Senate talks on a DHS funding deal stalling as Democrats and Republicans play the blame game for the chaos unfolding at airports across the country.
Democrats advocated chopping up the DHS funding bill for weeks, but Democrats blocked a GOP effort to do just that. Democrats deny the Republican accusation that they move the goalposts. However, some Republicans oppose their own option to fund some of DHS.
Fox's Chad Pergram, jurors in the landmark social media trial finding Meta and YouTube harmed a young user's mental health with features that were designed to be addictive.
A Los Angeles jury awarding $6 million in total damages against Meta and Google's YouTube after finding the companies negligent for designing apps that harmed minors and failed to warn about the dangers.
Fox's Chanley Painter, YouTube and Meta plan to appeal. America's listening to Fox News.
WJR traffic and weather first.
This report is sponsored by Allstate. Some people just know you can save money on car insurance by checking Allstate first. Those people are probably saving a carload of cash right now. So what are you waiting for? Check Allstate first for a quote today. You're in good hands with Allstate.
No crashes on the roads. We are seeing heavy traffic on westbound 94 between Connor and Van Dyke. Same with the Lodge southbound between McNichols and Wyoming, and Telegraph in both directions between Voorhees and Elizabeth Lake Road. Left lane closed for construction. That's in place until 3 p.m. tomorrow. Now, WJR weather first from the Weather Channel. Partly cloudy this morning. Rain showers this afternoon. A high of 67. Right now, it's 50. We could see severe thunderstorms early tonight with possible wind and large hail. Low of 28. Cloudy and much colder tomorrow, high of only 39. I'm Renee Vitale, WJR Traffic and Weather First.
I didn't switch to Pure Talk just because I wanted to save 50% off the same 5G service I've been paying twice as much for. I switched because I like the idea of being in business with a wireless company that supports our veterans in a meaningful way. Pure Talk also creates American jobs every day by keeping their entire operation in this country. I appreciate that. If you feel the same, dial pound 250, say Mike Rowe, and switch to an American wireless company that actually stands for something. Pure Talk.
It's tax season, and at LifeLock, we know you're tired of numbers. But here's a big one you need to hear. Billions. That's the amount of money in refunds the IRS has flagged for possible identity fraud. Now here's another big number. 100 million. That's how many data points LifeLock monitors every second. If your identity is stolen, we'll fix it guaranteed. One last big number. Save up to 40% your first year with promo code NEWS. Visit LifeLock.com for the threats you can't control. Terms apply.
March is your lucky month at the Nerve and Disc Institute in Farmington, Clinton Township, Grand Blanc, and Bad Axe. Hi, it's Paul W. Smith. Thousands of people, like my wife Kim and I, feel extremely lucky that our chronic back, neck, and knee pain are gone, thanks to our lucky charm, Dr. Saul Kogan. His non-surgical, non-invasive intradisc neutrosis and Knee Restore RX treatments stimulate the body's self-repair healing process. If you have spinal stenosis, herniated, bulging, or degenerative discs, sciatica pain or numbness, tingling or burning in your hands, arms, or legs, you're in luck. When you mention WJR in March, you'll get a consultation, examination, x-ray, or MRI review, and a laser treatment for just $49 for your first visit at the Nerve and Disc Institute. Your luck is about to change for the better. Call 586-416-DISC. That's 586-416-3472. Call now.
Never miss
The Daily Dose.
The Daily Dose.
The Daily Dose.
The Daily Dose
of Deets.
The Daily Dose of Deets. The top of mind topics and stories.
Because America keeps building, innovating, and growing.
But at
Second 30, Jamie, the guest is ready.
Kevin Dietz can conceive.
Love doesn't have to be built on these grand gestures.
It's can't miss radio.
You can't fake that kind of leadership Verlander is going to be able to bring to Scooball.
Kevin's own unique take on news and entertainment that'll get you talking all day.
Social media should not get a pass just because it's digital.
And into tomorrow. The Daily Dose of Dietz. First thing out of the gate on All Talk with Kevin Dietz. Weekdays at 9 on WJR. Stay here for All Talk with Kevin Dietz at 9. Now back to JR Morning with Chris Renwick, Lloyd Jackson, and Jamie Edmonds on WJR, where Michigan comes to talk.
All right, Tigers start off the season today in San Diego. First pitch, 4:10. I can't believe it.
Bless
I'm just
you,
so
boys.
excited.
Yay!
Kevin McGonigal's going to get the go around here. He's looked really nice in spring training, obviously one of their big prospects. And Tarek Skubal's on the bump. And so we've got Hope Spring Eternal and the Tigers getting ready to go today. Let's talk about it. Chris Castellani's the host of Big Play Detroit and joins us. Chris, good morning.
Good morning, everyone. Happy opening day.
Happy opening day. Let's talk about where you think the Tigers are at this point. Aside from all the arbitration and all the Skubal stuff, where do you think this team is going into game one?
You know, for all the excitement that was the offseason and obviously all the Skubal talk and everything, I think that generally speaking, the vibes are very good right now. I mean, it feels like forever ago, but you look back at the way last season ended and going into that offseason, I mean, there was a time not that long ago where we weren't sure if Tarek Skubal was going to be here. You know, there was talks about him potentially being traded, obviously, and was this team going to spend any money? Who are they going to go out and get? And the fact that you come away from this offseason still with Skubal, and you're giving him $32 million this year to pitch for you. You go get Framber Valdez, you bring back Verlander, you have a top 10 payroll in baseball, and you have this young offense that, as you just brought up, includes Kevin McGonigal making his major league debut today at Petco Park. Look, this is now a team that they're coming off back-to-back playoff appearances. As young as they are, this is a veteran group now that's kind of been through the mud. They've gone through it, and they have their goals in front of them. So it's as excited as I've seen the fan base for an opening day in quite a long time.
And and if everything goes right, what does a successful season look like for the Tigers this year?
It's so tough because I bring this up all the time, but October is so difficult to predict because you take arguably the largest sample size in sports with that 162 game season, and you condense it down to a week or two where if the bats go cold for 3 days, your season could be over. I think the number one main goal needs to be you need to win this division finally. There needs to be no excuses. There was really no excuses last year, and you spit it up at the very end.
Right.
I think that should be goal number one. The fact is, this is going to be a team that, assuming they stay healthy, when you look at their pitching, is going to be one that's going to match up as well as anybody, again, especially in the American League. You know, can I put it on there and say, you know, they should come away from the American League and win the pennant? They should win the World Series. Look, I think that with the pitching they have, they're going to be a matchup nightmare against a lot of teams that they go up against. And if they play their best going into October, there's potential for a deep run just because I think there's enough depth within the pitching department. And we talk about it all the time, pitching wins in October. But the regular season-wise, your goal needs to be that you need to win this division. There's no excuses now.
How do you think AJ Hinch is going to use McGonigal? He hasn't really said yet. He said he's left side of the infield, but how do you see it?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think they're going to move him around a little bit. One thing about AJ that AJ loves versatility. I mean, that's why he's spoken highly of Zach McKinstry. We've talked about it last year with Javi moving to center field. I don't think right now that there's a guaranteed role necessarily. If he's going to be short, if he's going to be at third base, they're going to move him to second a little bit. I think that's still going to be very fluid, but I think as it has been discussed a million times already, the reason he's in this lineup is because of the bat. And there's the old adage, if you can hit, they'll find a spot for you. So I don't think it's completely made up yet. I think that we're going to see changes. It wouldn't surprise me if in the first week we see him get multiple reps at third, multiple reps at shortstop. But they love the bat so much that I think they're willing to put up with it. I'm a little bit higher on him defensively than I think some other people are. I don't know if he necessarily sticks at short feet. He has the athleticism to play on the left side of the infield. And because the bat is going to play, they're going to figure out a way to put him in the lineup.
Chris, I want to talk a little bit about Parker Meadows because, go back to 2024, he was a real baller. Last season, he was cut short because of the injuries, and he never was able to get the bat going, wasn't able to get the bat going this spring. Is there concerns about his not only offensive abilities at this point, but defensive as well?
I don't think defensive. I think that the speed is still there. The route ability is still there on balls to center field. I think that's the one guaranteed plus to his game is that he's going to play a really good center field. But no, there are concerns about the bat. I mean, I like Parker, and I think we all see the upside with Parker. But
Yes.
The fact is, when you break down Parker Meadows' at bats in his career, I think 70 to 80% of them have been relatively unproductive. There was that really good blip down the stretch in 2024 when he got hot. You can see it. I mean, there's somewhere in Parker is a 5-tool player because the guy can run, the guy can hit for power. He has tremendous speed and he plays good outfield position. But I think very similar to Torkelson a year ago, I think that he benefits from having to play his way into the lineup every single day. And Torque had that incredibly hot spring a year ago where we weren't sure if he was even going to make the team. He was going to even start at first base, ends up taking the reins. Maybe it's like that with Parker where I think the pressure's off a little bit. They're going to most likely, and it'll change obviously with the way AJ manages it, but most likely this is going to be a bottom of the lineup guy. And I think that last year, even when he came back from injury, they placed him right at the top of the order. There are some guys that just work better batting in that 8 or 9 spot. You kind of build a second leadoff guy there in a weird way if they can get on base and steal bags. So they're gonna use him. They're gonna give him reps. I'm not surprised he made the team over Wencel Perez because they see what we see, which is a guy that has the ability and has a really high ceiling. But this is year 4 for him now, getting major league action. He's got to start showing it.
The Tigers move into this new Detroit Sportsnet, Chris. The rollout's been a little, wonky. I mean, 24 hours before, the opening pitch. But at some point, does, maximizing revenue start to clash with keeping the fan base engaged?
Yeah, I mean, I find that stuff very frustrating as well. I mean, it's funny because I love what I do and I make the videos on social media and I have a ton of fun with it. But, I have people DMing me asking, like, how am I going to be able to watch Tigers this year? I'm like, man, I'll find out when you guys find out. Like, this is all news. This is all news to me. So, no, it has been a frustrating rollout, which is disappointing because I love our broadcast. I think the Tigers with Benetti and everybody involved does such a phenomenal job. But it's a difficult thing now because I have an older generation that I have of family members that I have to explain this to. And I got to spend the next probably 10 hours reaching out to every single one of them, telling them where they can watch the games this year. So it's a little bit, it's a little bit frustrating, but hopefully they'll have things figured out here pretty soon because I think the quality of the product is excellent.
What is your prediction? I think you kind of said it earlier on, but win the division, go past the ALDS?
Yeah, so for regular season, last few years I've been pretty close. Last year I predicted 86, they won 87. The year before I predicted 85 and they won 86. So for this year I got 93 and 69 as their final record. I think that's the pitch. Yeah, because I think that they've done something that they haven't done the last few years, which is they are the highest payroll in this division. They've spent more than anybody. I expect that they should take that step forward, but I think in that 90 to 94 win range is the expectation. October, like I said, is difficult to predict. If the offense comes along the way that we think it can, then this is one of the favorites in the American League.
Chris, I hope we talk again a lot more as the season progresses. One of the great analysts of this team in this city, Chris Castellani. Thanks so much.
Well, thank you guys so much. I appreciate it. Have a good one.
Yeah, you got it. The other question too that we didn't talk about, but what is Javi Baez this year?
Oh,
ask Jason.
Jason, what is? Let's check in with our resident Javi Baez hater, Jason. Jason, where are you? Where are you at on Javi Baez?
If you can give us another good
Javi
first
slander,
half again,
please.
then we'll be okay. That's fine.
Yeah, all right.
Okay.
Give us something, I guess.
I guess it was like the best story in baseball.
It's a great story, yeah.
3/4 of the year.
And when we needed him in the playoffs, where was he?
Fair.
Okay.
That's fair.
All right.
Fair. Well, I don't know. I don't know about you guys. I'm excited.
Oh yeah.
I'm excited for first pitch today. I'm excited that opening day for us is coming down the pipe here. So
weather's kind of turning a little.
Weather's
bit,
turning a little bit.
Yeah.
It was 50 this morning when I left
exactly.
the house. So yeah, things are going well. Things are going well for the Tigers. What about the housing market? It's next on JR Morning.
A small business affirmation from Progressive. Food truck owners, today business will be booming. People will love your new menu and not make special orders. You will not roll your eyes when someone calls it a quesadilla. You will also switch to Progressive to get 30 customizable coverage options and restore your inner peace. See if you can save in as little as 8 minutes at progressivecommercial.com.
Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Coverage is not available in all states or for all vehicles and coverage selections.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
ZipRecruiter.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
I'm Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group. Did you buy a timeshare because they told you it was a great investment? That's a lie. Most timeshares can be bought online for $1. To find out what your timeshare is worth and to cancel it, call us today and we'll send you our timeshare exit kit free with all your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley for your free exit info guide. 800-714-9090. That's 800-714-9090.
Be sure to start every Sunday at 8 a.m. with JR Sunday with Mark Hollis. Great interviews and conversations all in one place on JR Sunday with Mark Hollis, sponsored by Tryon, your payroll and HR solution. To learn more and to reach out to Tryon, go to RelyOnTryon.com.
Crystal here from Family Heating, Cooling, and Electrical. Are you looking for professionals who can make electrical upgrades or repairs in your home or business? From security lighting and appliance circuits to recessed lights, panel upgrades, and so much more, Family Heating, Cooling, and Electrical has your electrical needs covered. With locations in Garden City, Madison Heights, and White Lake, we've been serving Southeast Michigan for over 55 years. Visit FamilyHeating.com to find the location near you. Family, not just the name of our company, but the way we do business.
Catch the Michigan Opportunity, an economic development series featuring candid conversations with business leaders and innovators across Michigan. Every Saturday night at 11 p.m. on the Michigan Opportunity, you'll hear firsthand accounts on how the state is driving job growth and business investment, supporting a thriving entrepreneurial ecosystem, building vibrant communities, and helping to attract and retain one of the most diverse and talented workforces. The Michigan Opportunity, Saturdays at 11 p.m., sponsored by the MEDC.
For physical health, mental health, and everything in between, Blue Cross is ready to help. Learn more at bcbsm.com.
Guess Who's back? Burton Cummings and Randy Bachman reunite as the Guess Who for the Taking It Back tour at Pine Knob Music Theater Friday, July 3rd. You could win tickets on us. Text keyword UNDONE to 800-859-0957. Sponsored by Live Nation. Tickets on sale now at Ticketmaster.
WJR traffic and weather first.
This report is sponsored by Straight Talk Wireless. Every now and then you find a deal that actually feels like a win. With Straight Talk Wireless, you get more and pay less. Now that's a good deal. No contracts, no credit checks, no surprises, all on Verizon's 5G network. Find it in the same place you've always found straightforward prices, exclusively at Walmart and StraightTalk.com.
Northbound 275 at E-Course, a vehicle fire has 2 right lanes blocked. We're seeing delays on westbound 94 between Cadgett and Van Dyke. Telegraph in both directions directions between Voorhees and Elizabeth Lake Road. Left lane is closed there until 3 p.m. tomorrow. Now, WJR weather first from the Weather Channel, sponsored by Mary Grove Awnings. You built the deck, you bought the grill. Now stop letting the sun push you around. Mary Grove Awnings, motorized, built tough. Click the remote, instant shade, and they can install in as little as 48 hours. Go to marygrove.com and book your free in-home appointment. Mary Grove, own your backyard. Here's your forecast.
Thunderstorms in our forecast today could bring some gusty winds and hail, potentially some isolated tornadoes. Should be okay this morning. This afternoon's commute, especially toward this evening, become quite a mess. 67 today. Tonight, especially early thunderstorms have that chance to be severe. Outlook from the Storm Prediction Center is a slight risk for severe storms.
So you want me to ask
as the storm
back
goes
in 30.
through, we'll see upper 20s by tomorrow morning, so colder, even chillier in the suburbs. And Friday, clouds give way to sunshine. Our last Friday of the month, we'll have a high near 40.
I'll do it just
On the Weather
because I'm
Channel,
off
I'm meteorologist Ray Stajic, 760 WJR, where Michigan comes to talk.
Call us or text us. The number's the same. 1-800-859-0957. 1-800-859-0WJR. Powered by Michigan Auto Law. Auto Accident Attorneys. Visit autolaw.com. That's autolaw.com.
So I told you guys, we're kind of looking at houses, looking at options, things like that. And I got to tell you, it's a interesting market out there right now.
Yeah, the Detroit housing market is in what many are calling a transitional moment right now. Prices, inventory, buyer demand, all shifting at the same time, creating this landscape that looks very different from even a year ago. So what does that mean if you're trying to buy a home or thinking about selling one? Joining us now to break it down is Christina Gennari. She's principal investor with Christina Gennari Real Estate Group. Christina, good to talk with you. Nice to have you on JR Morning. Christina.
Can you hear me? I'm here.
Yeah. Okay. Good morning.
I'm here. Good morning. Good morning. Hi.
Good. Nice to have you here. Listen, what signs are you seeing right now that kind of indicate that the market is shifting? Is it prices? Is it inventory, interest rates, all of the above?
It's all of the above. Compared to last year, we're seeing a little bit less inventory on the market, and it's also moving just ever so slightly slower. And that could be something that's happened because of our interest rate. Our interest rate's been moving around quite a bit, hovering around 6, but going below for just a moment and then coming right back up recently.
Christina, so people were waiting. There was a time people were waiting because of the interest rates to leave their home and go to a new home. Is that still out there, or are people saying, well, let's try it?
That's definitely still out there, where they're staying in their home, that they're locked into a 2 or 3% interest rate, because the cost to move is going to be higher than the new house, higher than their current home, where if they were to just stay with their current interest rate, they could save money and still be a little uncomfortable, whether they've needed to downsize and have the kids out of the house or move into something a little bit bigger so it feels tight.
Is this transition something temporary? I mean, where do you see the Detroit market headed in the next, let's say, 6 to 12 months?
So what's interesting about this conversation is that the market is actually healthy. We got so used to the numbers after COVID, where real estate was crazy, that now the last few years, as it's started to go into just a standard balanced market, it feels like things aren't going well. But the forecast is this year is still going to be a consistent, balanced market. Nothing to worry about. So if you do need to move, it's still a good time.
Christina Gennari, principal investor, Christina Gennari Real Estate Group. Appreciate you coming on this morning. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Meanwhile, we saw that the Fed decided to hold interest rates steady. What does it mean for the loan process, the interest rates that are out there? David Hall is the founder and president CEO of Hall Financial and joins us. D. Hall, good morning. Good to have you.
Hey, good morning. It's great to be with you.
So what are rates today? What is the financing option of this market looking like?
Well, the bond market recently is like the afternoon weather today in Michigan with, hail, possible tornadoes. I mean, we have seen rates move up a decent amount over the last 2 weeks since everything that's been going on in Iran. So you could get a 5.99 or a 5.875 interest rate, depending on your credit, a couple of weeks ago, for for no points. Now that same rate costs you 1.5 points, which is not the end of the world, but the market has definitely moved up and people are aware of it. So buyers and sellers have to be a little more creative. Sellers can still make it happen because they can contribute towards the buyer's cost of the mortgage to make it like it was a couple of weeks ago. But that means that folks like me and Christine working together is really important for buyers and sellers in this market because nobody wants to pay more. And we've seen rates go up a little bit over the last couple of weeks.
David, is this the kind of market where cash buyers or investors have an advantage over typical homeowners?
I mean, to some degree they do, but we've seen less of that recently. So if you're out there and you're looking at buying a home, you're primary resident, you're not an investor, you have a great opportunity right now because sellers know that they need to negotiate a little bit more. And we've seen more negotiations. If you look at the data, what it tells us is that sellers are coming off their price more now than they have over the last 4 years. And that's really good news if you're a buyer because the vibe has changed between sellers and buyers, and sellers have a little bit more wiggle room to come down, and buyers are taking advantage of that. So it's been a nice market from the standpoint of there's been more cooperation between buyers and sellers, with sellers giving in on their price a little bit more for non-cash buyers.
David, there's this quote in the Detroit News that the median age of repeat buyers is about 47. So not only are people older when they buy their first house, but they're not staying put. They're like buying and selling. Do you see that in your business?
Yeah, we do. And in fact, one of the things that's the most interesting is that, 4 or 5 years ago, when everybody refinanced to a very low rate, over half of consumers that owned a home had a rate that was under 4%. Now that number has gone down under 25% because life happens. People have to move. They want a new neighborhood. They're expanding their family, whatever the case may be. And so as we see more and more people getting out of that less than 4% interest rate, that's holding less people back from potentially selling. There's still a lot of people holding on to those very low rates, and rightfully so. They've got the deal of the century, basically, if you refinanced at that time and got that kind of a rate. But to that end, people still continue to move. They move up. They want a bigger house. They want a different neighborhood. And we've seen that in the market. So yes, you're seeing a lot of activity for people that are moving up more so than you had over the last couple of years.
Jerome Powell's term as the Fed chair ends on May 15th. And Donald Trump's talked about who would be next, and he's named that successor. And Donald Trump obviously wants these rates cut. If those rates do come down, whether that's right, wrong, or indifferent, not the topic today, but do we see those interest rates come down on those 30 years fixed? What do we see if that happens?
Yeah, the long-term answer is yes. The short-term answer is not immediately. So anytime the Fed starts to lower rates and gets into an easing cycle, it trickles through the entire economy and it gets to the mortgage rate piece of it down the road. It's not directly affected, but if you look historically, it is linked in an easing cycle where as rates come down from the Fed, you'll see the 30-year fixed mortgage rate drop over time. And I think that one of the things that Trump and others are focused on is how do we make things more affordable for consumers? The Fed's mandate to make sure that they get inflation down near 2% has hurt a lot of consumers in terms of the interest rates that they're paying on different goods. So it's been a tough time. And I think that as we get into more of an easing cycle, which I think we will, I think you're on the money on that, it'll be good for consumers and we'll start to see some relatively lower rates.
David Hall, good information as always. We appreciate you. Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
Yep, you got it. Coming up, get you caught up on the latest headlines. Also, Attorney General Dana Nessel joins us in the 8 o'clock hour to talk about that lawsuit against the feds in Romulo.
Now WJR Health Watch. Here's Lloyd Jackson.
When it comes to physical therapy at Henry Ford Health, there are various locations in the metro area, and they see everything from desk job neck strain to complex athletic injuries. For those looking for a unique experience, their Beverly Hills Club location integrates their clinical expertise with a top-tier athletic club environment.
We have access to a lot of their weight machines, exercise equipment that you wouldn't have access to at a normal clinic.
That's physical therapist Travis Somerville, who works out of the Beverly Hills Club location. His co-worker, physical therapist David Selleck, says many of their patients come from orthopedic doctors who many times prevent or prolong surgery with physical therapy.
We get it fairly frequently, again, because a lot of times, and that's kind of the other good thing about Henry Ford, even our orthopedic surgeons, they will defer to conservative management initially. So, which is great because then you're not necessarily being forced towards a surgical procedure or strongly encouraged towards one. So, I mean, that makes up a fair amount of our caseload where we are focusing on preventing that as much as we can.
There are many who are listening to this broadcast sitting at home wondering if that nagging ache warrants a physical therapy appointment. Here's some advice from Travis.
My advice is if they're in pain or limitation of movement and it's preventing them from doing what they normally do or preventing them from enjoying their life or limiting their work activities or recreation activities, I say, start with some physical therapy and see if that can conservatively take care of that.
For more information about Henry Ford Physical Therapy, go to henryford.com/services/rehabilitation. I'm Lloyd Jackson for WJR Health Watch.
This is the great voice of the Great Lakes, 760 WJR, Detroit, a Cumulus media station. You're hearing the great voice of the Great Lakes, 760 WJR.
The Iranian negotiators are very different and strange. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. President Trump posted that on Truth Social this morning, adding Iran is begging to make a deal to end the conflict now on day 27. But he then wrote, they better get serious soon before it's too late and it won't be pretty.
President Trump wants his advisors, the people in that cabinet room, to try to figure out how to wind the war down in the next couple of weeks, according to the Wall Street Journal.
Fox's Peter Ducey at the White House, where that Trump cabinet meetings in 2 hours.
This is going to be the first time that the whole cabinet has gotten together since Epic Theory started so that they can talk about the military part with the War Secretary, the economic part and gas prices with the Treasury Secretary and the Interior Secretary and the Energy Secretary, and also the possible impact on food prices with the Agriculture Secretary.
Another Iranian military leader has been taken out.
Overnight, a strike targeted and killed Ali Reza Tangsiri, the IRGC Navy commander responsible for closing the Strait of Hormuz, and he was alongside senior operational leadership at the time of the strike.
Fox's Trey Yingst in Tel Aviv, where sirens have wailed again today as Iran keeps firing barrages of missiles into Israel. Back to the president. With no end to the standoff in Congress over Homeland Security funding continuing to cause huge airport security lines, he said last night,
we're going to send in the National Guard if we need to.
TSA agents remain unpaid. More have not been showing up. Venezuela's ex-leader, captured by the U.S. military in January, Nicolas Maduro, returns to court in New York City this morning, trying to dismiss the drug and narco terror case against him. Meta and Google vowing to appeal a big loss in the social media trial.
A Los Angeles jury awarding $6 million in total damages against Meta and Google's YouTube after finding the companies negligent for designing apps that harmed minors and failed to warn about the dangers.
That's Fox's Chanley Painter. The plaintiff had accused Meta and Google of making social media platforms addictive. America's listening to Fox News.
WJR traffic and weather first.
This report is sponsored by Staples. Staples has hundreds of great ways to boost your brand, like spectacular signs, brilliant brochures, eye-popping posters, mouth-watering menus, and more. Shop now through April 18th and save up to $125 on all your custom prints. Staples, that was easy.
A few crashes on the road slowing you down right now. Northbound 275 at E-Course, a vehicle fire has all lanes blocked. Traffic's backed up to 94. Westbound 696 before Greenfield, an accident there causing delays to Coolidge, and a crash on Greenfield at 12 Mile. Now, WJR weather first from the Weather Channel, sponsored by Weather Seal Home Improvements. Is your roof showing its age? Now's the perfect time to replace it with Weather Seal Home Improvements. For a limited time, when you choose Weather Seal for your roof project, you'll receive a $500 $1,000 gas card. That's a brand new roof and money for the pump. Now that's a good deal. Schedule today at weathersealhomeimprovements.net. Partly cloudy this morning, rain showers this afternoon, a high of 67. Right now, it's 47. Could see severe thunderstorms early tonight with possible wind and large hail, low of 28. Cloudy, much colder tomorrow, high of 39. I'm Renee Vitale, WJR Traffic and Weather First.
It's Ryan Armani. Everything costs more right now. Your roof doesn't have to wait. I'm here with Eric from Paramount Roofing, and they are offering a great way to save.
That's right, Ryan. Paramount Roofing is offering 5 years, 0% interest financing for people who need real solutions for their roofing project this year. That means premium materials, top-rated service, and a payment plan built for real-world budgets.
Call before March 31st to lock in this great offer. Visit weareroofing.com. That's weareroofing.com.
I didn't switch to Pure Talk just because I wanted to save 50% off the same 5G service I've been paying twice as much for. I switched because I like the idea of being in business with a wireless company that supports our veterans in a meaningful way. Pure Talk also creates American jobs every day by keeping their entire operation in this country. I appreciate that. If you feel the same, dial pound 250, say Mike Rowe, and switch to an American wireless company that actually stands for something. Pure Talk.
LifeLock, how can I help?
The IRS said I filed my return,
But I haven't.
1 in 4 tax-paying Americans has paid the price of identity fraud.
what do I do?
My refund, though. I'm freaking out. Don't worry, I can fix this.
LifeLock fixes identity theft guaranteed and gets your money back with up to $3 million in coverage.
I'm so relieved.
No problem. I'll be with you every step of the way.
1 in 4 was a fraud-paying American. Not anymore. Save up to 40% your first year with promo code NEWS at LifeLock.com. Terms apply.
Hi, friends. Bill Golling here to tell you about the Declaration of Deals sales event going on all March long at Golling Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram. Right now, qualified Chrysler employees with lease loyalty can lease the 2026 Jeep Compass Limited 4x4 from our CTP fleet for just $289 a month. Leases for 27 months, 10,000 miles a year with $2,000 down, plus tax title plates and Dakar Extra. That's Golling Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram in Bloomfield Hills, Roseville, Chelsea, or
Mike
newest
Pierce wants me
location
to
on
try
Mac
and record
Detroit,
something
or
here from
always at
home for
Golling.com.
Guernsey Farms Dairy, and he'll decide if it's good or not.
Okay, I'll let you know which break we do it in, then I'll send it to him.
It's not just morning, it's a JR morning with Chris Renwick, Lloyd Jackson, and Jamie Edmonds on 760 WJR and on the WJR app, where Michigan comes to talk.
All right. It's baseball day. Tigers kick off their season. Go get them, Tigers.
Bless you, boys.
Yeah. Very exciting. Tigers first pitch today, 4:10 in San Diego against the Padres. And if you pay for cable, you can watch the game.
Yeah.
That's the good news.
Found out, 24 hours before first pitch?
Yep. Yesterday, we got some information. If you are with Comcast or Xfinity, channel 1253. You're with Spectrum, 213. If you were with DirecTV, 663-3.
Okay.
So those are the channels that you can watch the game. Now, if you have oh, there it is. If you've got YouTube TV, things like that,
yeah,
different story. You got to pay for the app. You got to subscribe to it. But we'll be able to watch the games, which is good news.
Well, that's the bottom line.
The key word you said is pay. If you pay for cable, you can watch the Tigers. If you pay for the app, you can watch the Tigers. So you're probably going to have to shell out some money. But if you're a huge Tigers fan, I mean, there's lots of excitement with this starting lineup, with this young kid, Kevin McGonigal. It may be worth the price.
New lefty on the bump for the Tigers. Tarek Skubal kicks things off today. JV's back. We're
exciting.
We're ready to go. It's one of my favorite times of year. And I love the crossover between March Madness and then the start of baseball season. And you've got Red Wings going, you've got Pistons going.
Yep.
So and then the draft's coming up in Pittsburgh here in a couple of weeks.
Yep.
Are the Red Wings going? I saw a percentage that they have 38% chance to make the playoffs.
Yeah. No, it's not good. It's not good.
No.
It's really not good. But whatever. In terms of sports watching, sports viewing, fandom, this is one of my favorite times of the year. Absolutely love it. Meanwhile, the situation in Iran, interesting news this morning. Alireza Tangsiri, the Iranian commander of the Navy Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps, was killed in a precise and deadly attack, according to the Israeli defense minister. He was responsible for a number of things, including the block in the Strait of Hormuz, but the mining of that as well. That's, the big choke point. A fifth of the world's oil comes to that point. So this was obviously a very specific and targeted attack. Meanwhile, you've got the president, according to the Wall Street Journal, telling those internally aides that he wants this thing wrapped up, that he wants this wrapped up in the next couple of weeks. That would meet that 4 to 6 week guideline that they talked about initially. So 10,000 of these military outlets in Iran have been hit. Isfahan, which is one of those areas where the uranium enrichment facility was, that was one of the areas that they targeted last year.
That's right.
In those B-2 strikes. They were hitting that again as well. All the while, you've got negotiations going on because Donald Trump put this 5-day pause on the hit on these power plants. And these negotiations that are happening, the United States has sent out this 15-point plan. Apparently, Iran has poo-pooed it. But that's what their state TV is saying. Again, what's happening behind closed doors, we don't exactly know, but we do know that there is some sort of conversation happening.
Yeah, and I mean, the hope is that some sort of agreement comes because, I mean, the price of oil is going up. And is there an off-ramp here in this 2-week timeline that the president wants? I mean, analysts say maybe not.
Maybe not. A Los Angeles jury yesterday, it was a landmark verdict in this case with Meta and YouTube. And the ruling by the jury was that these social media companies produced products that were harming this, in this case, this one particular woman. She's now 20 years old. She went by KGM in the suit. And she started using YouTube at 6, Instagram at 9. She developed anxiety and depression, body image issues, and compulsive use. And the jurors say that it was the algorithm recommendations, the doom scrolling, the infinite scrolling, the notifications that were all, quote, a substantial factor in causing her harm. They awarded her $3 million in damages, $3 million in punitive damages. Meta's going to have to pay 70%, YouTube 30% on that. But this is really the first major case like this. So a landmark ruling. And there are lots of other lawsuits that are pending like
this. This is going to open the door, but where does parental responsibility fall?
Again, that's like more of like our side of it. Whether they are creating things that are harmful is a different story.
Yeah.
But I do believe, I don't know how you let a 6-year-old just run rampant on YouTube. But that's just me.
Yeah, I agree.
Well, the idea here is there were 2 cases this week that sort of may open the floodgates for product liability arguments. And the first one was in New Mexico, 24 hours before this LA case where Meta, the jury said, exposed minors to harmful content. So what happens next?
A Metro Detroit woman learned the hard way that you can't bypass the rules of the road or the courtroom. Now, Kimberly Carroll, she appeared virtually before Woodhaven District Judge Michael McNally this week for a debt collection hearing involving nearly $2,000. And when Carroll finally joined the Zoom, and she joined it late, she appeared to be driving.
You cannot be driving, ma'am. What are you doing? Come on.
I'm not driving. I'm a passenger in a car.
You're still not. I'm not hearing cases with people driving or as passengers in cars.
I'm sorry. I have an emergency. I'm going out of town for a family member, but I will have my driver pull over. Hang on 1 second. I'm sorry. I didn't know that I wasn't allowed to be in a car, but hang on 1 second.
Am I crazy, or does it not look like you're driving that car?
I'm not driving the car. I'm a passenger in the car, sir.
What side of the car are you on?
I'm on the left-hand side.
How would you be on the left-hand side if you're a passenger in the front seat? Am I missing something?
Right-hand side. I'm sorry. I've been sitting in a room. I didn't know.
Yeah, the seatbelt's coming off of the driver's side. You're lying to me, right?
No, I'm not, sir.
Let me see the driver.
Hang on 1 second.
Now.
I have to ask their permission.
Now, I'm entering a default judgment. You lied to me. Judgment 1921-85.
This is going virtual. It's going virtual. Viral. I'm sorry. It's going viral. It's all over the place, man. It's all over the place. And hearing it is one thing, but you got to see it.
I mean, how dumb do people think others are. Her left arm is touching the window.
Yes. You can see her eyes scanning the road, checking her rear view mirror. It's very obvious you are driving that car.
If she's a passenger and the judge is talking to her, she'd be looking right at the judge. She's not looking at the judge.
No.
She's looking out of the windows.
And he's like, let me see the driver. She's like, well, I have to ask permission. The driver, if you weren't the driver would say, sure. I'm right here.
Yeah. Here I go, Judge.
How funny would it have been if you could have heard the turn signal or something like that?
Oh, my God.
Or like a honk from someone else.
Well, and again, the funny part is she's like, I'm on the left side. He goes, yeah, that's the driver's side. Your seatbelt's coming from the left side.
And the attitude coming from her being like, just a minute.
Well, and again, what's funny is in the video, she says, I have to ask for permission. And then she gets out. She looks like she's at a gas station.
Yeah.
She gets out of the car and goes to the other side. Like that's like
you didn't see it.
What are we doing? What's the matter with you?
To jail. Straight to jail.
Straight to jail. To jail.
Yep.
You drive on a Zoom court hearing straight to jail. I don't know what you're doing. And what was her initial infraction? What was she in court for?
It was like a debt collection.
Yeah,
$1,900.
At the very minimum, pull over.
Sure.
And just say, Your Honor, I had a family emergency.
Yep.
I'm going to pull over and I'm going to do this.
Right.
Not like check. You can see like semis are passing.
I'm not driving, Judge. I'm in the passenger seat.
It's so crazy. So crazy. Pistons lose last night, unfortunately, in overtime to Atlanta, 130-29. We also have some tourney games today. Texas and Purdue, Iowa, Nebraska, Arkansas, Arizona, Illinois, and Houston, all tipping off today.
And our guys
in the
are
Sweet
tomorrow,
16 matchup.
right?
Yes, Michigan State both play tomorrow. Of course, you'll hear that Michigan State game right here on WJR. Our pregame starts at 8:45. Coming up on the other side, Attorney General Dana Nessel and the state has filed a lawsuit against the federal government because of this proposed ICE warehouse in Romulus. She joins us to explain why next.
I'm Adam Devine, Chief Fundraiser for Children's Miracle Network. We'll fund it up.
Jamie, you want to give this? You want to give this recording a shot?
Wondered how our network actually works? Oh, wonder no more.
With the support of partnering businesses and individual donors, we help raise crucial funds for 170 children's hospitals across.
All right, so we'll try it. And if he doesn't think it's good enough, I'll be in studio on Monday.
Okay, station is out, right? In your ear?
Yes, I hear just you.
Okay, go ahead, we're rolling.
All right, 3, 2. It's Jamie Edmonds. There's nothing like a day at the ballpark with the Detroit Tigers, the roar of the crowd, the smell of fresh...
Hold on 1 sec. I'm sorry. That was my fault. Okay, go again.
3, 2. It's Jamie Edmonds. There's nothing like a day at the ballpark with the Detroit Tigers, the roar of the crowd, the smell of fresh cut grass, and now the taste of something truly special. Introducing Detroit's Grand Slam ice cream from Guernsey Farms Dairy, proud partner of the Tigers. Made with rich, creamy goodness and packed with hometown flavor, it's the perfect way to celebrate every inning, every hit, every home run. Heading to the game? Make sure to grab a scoop of Guernsey right at the park during every Tigers game, because baseball isn't just America's favorite pastime, it's even better with America's favorite treat. Cool off, treat yourself, and make every Tigers moment a little sweeter with Guernsey Farms Dairy. Guernsey Farms Dairy and the Detroit Tigers teaming up to knock it out of the park.
You say you're not here tomorrow?
No, so Ann wants me to stay home because I've been sick.
Okay, gotcha. Okay. I'll send that to him. It sounded good to me.
Okay.
We'll see. And we'll let you know.
Okay.
Free state for Simpleton 40s only. Around 37% of filers qualify. See details at turbotax.com/free. No schedules except for EITC, CTC, student loan interest, and Schedule 1A.
Planning spring business travel? Start your trip the professional way with Metro Cars. Let a professional Metro Car chauffeur pick you right up at your doorstep and take you directly to curbside check-in. For executives and corporate travelers, time and reliability matter, whether you're catching an early morning flight, arriving for an important meeting, or arranging transportation for visiting clients and leadership teams. MetroCars provides dependable airport transportation designed around your schedule. With experienced chauffeurs on a premium fleet of sedans, SUVs, vans, and buses, MetroCars delivers a comfortable, quiet ride that allows you to stay focused and arrive prepared. Celebrating over 35 years of excellence, MetroCars is proud to serve as the official transportation provider of 760 WJR. When your schedule matters and professionalism counts,
And you said Pierce,
trust
right?
the transportation company
Pierce.
Michigan business travelers have relied on for 4 decades. Reserve your ride today at metrocars.com.
WJR traffic and weather first.
This report is sponsored by Text Now.
Other wireless carriers tell you when to pay. Text Now as, what do you need? It's app-first phone service without commitments, credit checks, or carrier attitude. Built for people who stop asking for permission. Download today.
A few crashes on the roads this morning. Northbound 275 at E-Course, a vehicle fire taking up the 2 right lanes has traffic getting by in the left lane only. That's causing backups to 94. Southfield Freeway northbound at 8 Mile, an accident blocking the left lane, and a crash at Greenfield and 12 Mile. Now, WJR weather first from the Weather Channel. Here's your forecast.
Storms forecast to get here probably after 5 o'clock today. A few showers, thunderstorms around, mainly in the afternoon and evening hours. 67 degrees today. Those storms will end early tonight. The front will sweep through. We're in the upper 20s by Friday morning with clouds hanging around. Suburbs are going to be even colder. A little bit of a breeze, too. It's going to put a chill in the air on Friday with sunshine, high only 40. From the Weather Channel, I'm meteorologist Ray Stagicon, 760 WJR, where Michigan comes to talk.
Here we come, 22nd.
Up and down the dial for NCAA men's basketball. All the most important games from this week's giant matchup right down to the final game. What are you searching for? You're already there. The NCAA playoffs are here, courtesy of Westwood One on 760 WJR.
So Attorney General Dana Nessel joined leaders in Romulus this week to announce a lawsuit filed against the Department of Homeland Security about a potential new ICE detention facility that was scheduled to open in Romulus. But she says that there are a number of issues with it. So let's talk to her, the Attorney General of the good state of Michigan. Dana Nessel joins us this morning. Madam Attorney General, it's good to have you.
Thanks for having me.
Well, let's talk about this lawsuit, exactly why you filed it. And one of the things that you mentioned in your press conference this week was that there were a number of parameters that the department wasn't following here. So why file this lawsuit?
Well, first of all, when the Department of Homeland Security purchased this very large warehouse, about 473,000 feet, they never consulted with local or county or state officials, which is very unusual. Normally they do. And when we found out about exactly what they were planning on, it was retrofitting what is now just a warehouse. And it's got a number of different issues that make it totally unsuitable for a place that you're going to be detaining what they estimate to be about 500 people. I mean, it's very close to our residential area. There's homes that abut this, this warehouse. There is an elementary school and a middle school that are very close nearby. It's in a floodplain, which normally you would never put a facility like this in a floodplain. It's near protected wetlands. It's got a 6-inch sewer pipe. There's only 6 bathrooms in there, I think, which is a bit of a recipe for a disaster when you are looking at housing over 500 people. And, it's in the heart of, metropolitan Detroit. And we're worried about it, frankly, from a traffic congestion perspective as well. So there are a lot of issues with this particular area. And, these are all things that could have been discussed if anybody from DHS had reached out to, like I said, either state, county, or local officials so that we could have discussed it before they made these preparations.
I know the Romulus mayor said that the city was overburdened and underserved, and you know, a lot of leaders in the state have even said that this could like drain police resources and hinder the economic development. You agree with that?
Oh, I think it's going to be a public safety nightmare, candidly, where they're placing this. You know, typically when we see where these facilities are placed, they are like our prisons, oftentimes in remote areas. And I should add, we have many MDOC facilities that, because our crime rates have drastically decreased, some of them have shut down. They made no inquiry about, are there other places that would be better than this warehouse right in the middle of Romulus? So in talking to the police department, you know, they have around 56 police officers in that department right now. And I think what we could expect to see is a lot of protesting at that facility. People are really upset with how people have been treated in these ICE detention facilities. And I mean, there's good evidence to back that up. You know, there are very little medical attention is provided. There are sanitation issues and many other reasons why people are upset. So here we are. We're in the heart of metropolitan Detroit, obviously very close to I-94 and I-275. I think we're going to see large-scale protests. And the fact is, and the Romulus police have made this abundantly clear to me, they don't have the staff just for even the most peaceful and lawful of protests. Just if you're looking at it from a traffic perspective, they don't have enough cops in order to be out there to keep everybody safe. And, you know, traffic congestion in that area, like, I don't know how people are going to be able to drive their kids to the nearby elementary school or to the middle school, or how buses are going to get through that area. So there are a lot of different concerns for this community. And, you know, I mean, Romulus has been through a lot over the course of many years. And this is the last thing that they need right now. I think it's going to be really, really detrimental to that community. I'm already being told that there are businesses that were planned for Romulus, and they're pulling out because they don't want to be in this community now. So it's really devastating for them.
Attorney General, some critics may say, well, you don't agree with this politically, so that's why this case is coming about. But you believe that there are legal grounds here to stand on, and you're not alone. I mean, the city council passed a resolution opposing this facility as well.
Yeah, I mean, look, the law is the law, right? And I think for me, the height of irony is obviously, you know, about 75% of the people that are being detained in these facilities have no criminal record other than the fact that they are in the country illegally. And traditionally what you did is, while their cases were pending, you know, you would, most of these people would be out working and paying taxes and paying Social Security and all the rest of it. But all right, so they've made this decision that instead of them being out on bond, that everybody's going to be held in custody. But you still have to do this right. And the fact is, they are violating a number of different laws by picking this particular facility. And even if you were to make some of the changes that would be required in order to make this a safer facility, you know, you're still not going to be able to move the protected wetlands. You know, you're still not going to be able to take this facility out of a floodplain. I don't know if you guys remember, but there was a pretty massive flood out that way just last July. And I don't know, do you guys remember seeing the images from the tunnels at Metro Airport? I mean, this is an area where this is not an uncommon thing. So there are so many, you know, there's so many reasons why they picked just the worst place possible. I think we can all imagine that likely this facility was, this warehouse was picked because of its proximity to both Metro Airport and then, of course, to Willow Run as well. And that's probably what they were thinking. But I don't think they were thinking of anything else but that, because they certainly didn't do a proper evaluation here.
So in your mind, you're following the law, no politics at play here, that this is just something that they have done, they being DHS has done improperly to obtain this piece of property, and there's no tinge of, well, I don't like Donald Trump, so that's why we're filing this lawsuit.
First of all, it's not about Donald Trump. It's about what's happening in these facilities. But let me say this, there have been a number of communities in very red areas of very red states where they also do not want these facilities in their backyard. And of course, that's especially true where you have a place that's like this, a warehouse that they're just retrofitting. You know, if we were going to build a county jail in Michigan, or we were going to build a state prison in Michigan, there would be so much in the way done in terms of analysis, working with the local community, looking at environmental issues, looking at things like sewage pipes, which maybe don't sound very sexy, but it's pretty important to make sure that you can handle the capacity of the number of people that are likely to be in there. But they didn't do any of that stuff here. And the areas where I've seen these facilities that be stood up, most of those areas very much don't want to have these places. But if you have to do that, and you're insisted on doing it, then do it legally. Right. And at least make that inquiry about where the best place would be for it. There's also more room, by the way, at the Baldwin facility. They haven't filled that up to the max. And there are county jails that have extra space, and you could rent out the space in those county jails, but they've chosen to do this instead.
Attorney General Dan Innes, we appreciate your time this morning. Thank you so much. We hope we talk again very soon. We'll keep an eye on this.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, you got it. Look, it's like those data centers. Like, I understand why people don't want them in their backyard, but at some point you need some of these facilities to house some of these folks that they're going after. Coming up on the other side, the former Governor Rick Snyder joins us. He's got a new roadmap for the state.
When every square foot counts, your storage should make the most of it. Shop durable solutions that maximize space and improve efficiency, from Unirack pallet racking to prefabricated industrial offices that create flexible rooms where you need them most. Or opt for modular mezzanines and double your floor space without expensive renovations.
Shelving.com, shelving.com, we rack your world.
People can't have access to quality medical care without affordable health insurance. At Blue Cross Blue Shield of Michigan, we understand increasing health insurance costs are becoming more of a strain on the budgets of the businesses and people we serve. Affordability matters. It affects real families, real decisions, and real care. That's why at Blue Cross, we're dedicated to finding solutions. To learn about this critical issue and our efforts to make healthcare affordable for all, visit mibluedaily.com/affordability today.
Guess Who's back? Burton Cummings and Randy Bachman reunite as the Guess Who for the Taking It Back Tour at Pine Knob Music Theater, Friday, July 3rd. You could win tickets on us. Text keyword UNDONE to 800-859-0957. Sponsored by Live Nation. Tickets on sale now at Ticketmaster.
iHeartRadio, the WJR app, WJR.com. However you like to listen, WJR is there. Oh, and we're on your radio, too.
Fox News, I'm CJ Papa. Pain at the pump continues because of the conflict with Iran.
Rough out here. It's like $100 to load my car.
A woman in Los Angeles, AAA says the nationwide average is $3.98, up $1 since the war began.
President Trump wants his advisors, the people in that cabinet room, to try to figure out how to wind the war down in the next couple of weeks, according to the Wall Street Journal.
Fox's Peter Doocy at the White House. The cabinet meeting begins at 10 a.m. Eastern. Israel says it's eliminated the head of the Iranian Revolutionary Guard, Navy Commodore Elireza Tangseri.
I'm told by a senior Israeli official this operation was conducted using both Israeli and American intelligence, and he was alongside senior operational leadership at the time of the strike.
Fox's Trey Inks in Tel Aviv, and day 41 in the fight over funding for the Department of Homeland Security. Long lines at airports. America's listening to Fox News.
WJR traffic and weather first.
This report is sponsored by Pro-Life Across America.
Hi, I'm Angie. Did you know a billboard can save a baby's life? It's true. You can make a difference by helping us spread the pro-life message to reach those who are struggling with an unplanned pregnancy. Please make a gift today. Visit prolifeacrossamerica.org.
On the Southfield Freeway northbound at 8 Mile, an accident's taking up the left lane. A vehicle fire in the two right lanes of northbound 275 at E-Course has traffic getting by in the left lane only. Traffic's backed up to 94. Northbound Telegraph at Grand River, a crash there. And then we're also seeing an accident on Greenfield and 12 Mile. Now, WJR weather first from the Weather Channel. Partly cloudy this morning. Rain showers this afternoon. High of 67. Right now it's 48. We could see severe thunderstorms early tonight with possible wind and large hail. Seattle, low of 28, then cloudy, much colder tomorrow, high of only 39. I'm Renee Vitale, WJR, traffic and weather first.
It seems like everything costs a little extra these days, and with those costs rising, they're hitting you hard. And when you're forced to make tough choices, keeping the lights on, keeping the heat on should never be one of them. Consumers Energy is stepping up, giving back $5 million to assistance agencies and supporting efforts to increase energy assistance dollars for families in need by 50%. And with that personalized energy saving program, you can actually take the steps to start reducing your energy bills today. So don't wait. Count on Consumers Energy for that support. Learn more at consumersenergy.com/help.
A Social Security update. 70 million Americans collect Social Security benefits today, and millions more will join soon. Now, a new study finds 70.
Friday on JR Morning, we'll learn about a new group, Michigan for Responsible Data Centers.
Finally.
You're anti-data center?
I mean, you have seen those Terminator movies, right?
I don't think it's the same thing, Chris.
Look, I've seen those movies. It all starts in the data centers.
I don't think you're right, but we'll find out tomorrow morning, 6 to 9 a.m. on WJR, WJR.com, and the WJR app.
We will find out tomorrow, Lloyd. Until then, I'll be back.
800-999-9690. Text and data rates may apply.
March is your lucky month at the Nerve and Disc Institute in Farmington, Clinton Township, Grand Blanc, and Bad Axe. Hi, it's Paul W. Smith. Thousands of people, like my wife Kim and I, feel extremely lucky that our chronic back, neck, and knee pain are gone, thanks to our lucky charm, Dr. Saul Kogan. His non-surgical, non-invasive intradisc neutrosis and knee restore RX treatments stimulate the body's self-repair healing process. If you have spinal stenosis, herniated, bulging, or degenerative discs, sciatica pain or numbness, tingling or burning in your hands, arms, or legs, you're in luck. When you mention WJR in March, you'll get a consultation, examination, x-ray, or MRI review, and a laser treatment for just $49 for your first visit at the Nerve and Disc Institute. Your luck is about to change for the better. Call 586-416-DISC. That's 586-416-3472. Call now.
Thinking about installing a home EV charger? Lighthouse Electric has EV charger installs starting as low as $699. Call 888-91-LIGHT. From service upgrades to new construction and remodels, call Lighthouse Electric. 888-91-LIGHT. That's 888-91-LIGHT.
Detroit celebrates the
here we
power
come at
of
20.
women. From the Henry Ford Museum to the Regional Chamber, we're honoring our trailblazers. Join us for local summits, jazz tributes, and community workshops through the month of March. It's time to give, to gain, and lift every voice. Find a full list of International Women's Month events at visitdetroit.com. Let's move Detroit forward together.
Paul W. Smith can be found on Focus from noon to 2 p.m. on 760 WJR. Now back to JR Morning with Chris Renwick, Lloyd Jackson, and Jamie Edmonds.
The Michigan Roadmap is a policy blueprint focused on strengthening Michigan's economy, lowering costs, improving public services, and quite frankly, one of the themes throughout is restoring trust in government. And there are 10 different priority areas in this Michigan Roadmap. And it was penned in part by the former governor, Rick Snyder, who's also the CEO and chair of Sensei, and joins us this morning. Governor, it's good to have you.
It's great to be with you, and I appreciate the positive comments. The idea was that we need a positive agenda out there.
I thought you were done with all of this. What are you still doing?
No, man. Relentless positive, positive energy.
That's exactly right.
Yeah, well, if you think about it, I'm not running for anything, but if you think about it, a lot of people out there running don't have the opportunity or don't have the resources to do a lot of research and come up with policy positions. And I'm just trying to be helpful, working with making government accountable, a great group of individuals and resources that we pulled this together to be a guide for candidates and to also help people like yourselves, media and other people in the general public, to give you something that now you can ask hopefully better, tougher questions of candidates and see how they respond.
Yeah. So then in this report, what are some of the areas that you found to be the most important for lawmakers or just citizens here in the state?
Yeah, what I'd say is in terms of the biggest issues that stand out are affordability. I mean, things have gotten expensive for people, and what can government do to reduce burdens on people in terms of their costs? The other one is education. So those affordability and education are going to be two of the biggest issues clearly in the election, but there's other important things about fiscal responsibility, transparency in government. Like you said, Chris, restoring trust in government. We need to work on all those kind of issues. You can't ignore them. We need to do better.
And some might see opportunity and accountability as tension points. How do you bridge them effectively?
Yeah, I appreciate that, Lloyd. It was funny. I did a dashboard in my very first day of the state and the entire state, and I said, I want to be judged on this my entire time as governor. And I got criticized by people in Lansing. And I said, why are you criticizing me? And that's like, well, you can be held accountable. And if you don't do it, you're in trouble. And it's like, that's all backwards, people. The goals of accountability and measurements and all these kind of metrics are to say, how do you know you're measuring success if you don't have a way to measure it? So I'm a half full guy. So let's use these measures and metrics as the way to say how we can get better, not how we can get in trouble.
Well, there's just a story in Cranes today about how population growth has slowed in metro areas in our state. I mean, that's something that you were talking about when you were governor, keeping people here.
Yeah, and we did a good job. We actually grew during that time period, and we're sliding backwards now. So that's what I hope this document can help do is let's not talk about how we dislike each other or why we have differences with one another or why someone else is bad. Let's talk about constructive things we can do to make Michigan better. And that's the point of getting this in the hands of candidates that quite often are pushed towards the negative. Let's give them some resources and tools so they can be more positive. So I encourage anyone running for office in Michigan to read this document and feel free to plagiarize as much as possible.
Yeah, right. That might be one of the only times you hear that.
That's right.
Right. I think one of the other things too is you look towards the future. Yes, it's about affordability and how we can change things more in the immediate and making our community safer in the immediate. But long term, the vision here is making sure that those sustainability efforts on affordability continue. That they're not just something in the near term. That those need to continue on far into the future, so that we can be more positioned to be in the conversation nationally, whether it's economically, educationally.
Yeah, absolutely. And one of the points there that won't get as much attention, but it talks about our long-term liabilities. When you want to talk about the real long-term, that's truly the case. Because one of the things that we worked on, and we put a payment plan in place for Michigan's long-term pension and post-retiree obligations to pay them all off by 2038. Now, I can't tell you the exact year that's still out there, but much of that has continued. And literally, if we stick to that payment plan, it will free up billions of dollars that can either be left in taxpayers' pockets or be deployed in a more thoughtful way to do even better things for Michigan. But again, it's about fiscal responsibility and government doing their part, just like you have to in your household. So we do need that long-term time frame to think about these things.
And Governor, access to physical and mental health care for everyone. I mean, that's a big deal as well. We lost a lot of our mental health centers in the state, and we have you hear these issues going on and problems, the recidivism in the jails or people who have mental health issues.
Yeah, we do need to do more, and that calls out. I appreciate that, Lloyd. You're a good reader. You already knew it, but hopefully you found it in the document too. But there are a lot of areas in Michigan where there's sort of a void or a desert for mental health resources, and the need is only becoming greater and greater. And there's more need to sort of integrate mental and physical health, because your physical health quite often depends on your mental health.
Mm-hmm.
If you have a good frame of mind and you're thinking good about the future, you're going to be healthier. So they tie together. So let's not treat these as separate issues and sort of put them to the side. Let's understand that we have real people here that need real help, and put in place resources to deliver results to them. And that'll be a win for all of us.
And on the education side, expand dual enrollment, career and technical education apprenticeships, and paid work-based learning. So you want students to see all the options that are out there.
Absolutely. And one of the things I'd like to see more is we need to actually engage our business community more in our schools and ask them to come in and find these opportunities where students can come visit. They can come in and talk about careers they can connect them to these apprenticeships and internships. One great case I had when I was back at Governor up in Port Huron, I went to a company that had some interns, and these interns actually won a $400,000 bid.
Wow.
For this company. And if you think about it, they said, why don't you guys go work on this? They didn't know if they'd have a chance or not, but the kids did it and they won.
Wow.
Now talk about an internship that's got a high return on investment for everybody. That was incredible.
Well, and I think one of the things that I took away from this in totality is, yes, there are some Republican positions and ideology on it, but it's very much a moderate document, it feels like.
Yeah, and we actually sent it to people in office from both parties. It wasn't about one side or the other. It's like, I hope these are viewed as good ideas by everyone that we can all embrace and say, let's not talk about if you're a Republican and Democrat, why you're different. Can't we find common ground and do it together?
Why is this moment critical for Michigan right now, Governor? And why does bridging opportunity with accountability matter now more than ever?
Because of how dysfunctional we are. I mean, our system is not working well now. There's far too much negativity. I mean, we do need a lot more relentless positive action. There are a lot of people that have sort of given up on politics. They have sort of said, it's terrible what's going on, so they walk away from it. We need people engaged, and we need the people that have sort of become more disillusioned to re-engage. And so I hope this can sort of be a common gathering place to say, as you said, you may not agree with everything in here, but I would hope almost everyone can find some common ground items here that we can say, can't we just go do these things? And when you show success by working together, it breeds more success. So I encourage people to go to the website too. It's makinggovaccountable.com if they want to see the booklet themselves too.
Yeah, they should. And you, as the CEO and chair of Sensei, former governor, as Lloyd would say, you are not letting the grass grow underneath your feet. Governor, we appreciate your time as always. Thank you.
Great to be with you.
Yeah, we'll talk again soon. Meanwhile, Perry Johnson is spending a lot of money, but according to one editorialist here,
maybe he needs the roadmap.
Yeah, in the state, in this area, he will not be the next governor. We'll talk to Nancy Kapfer at the Free Press next.
Detroit fans, the Lions are returning to international play, and you have to be there.
True Fan Travel is taking game day to the next level with the ultimate Germany experience.
Picture this, an all-inclusive, stress-free trip to cheer on Detroit and Munich.
You can join my friend Lomas Brown in Deutschland for a 5-night unforgettable fan experience.
Authentic German culture, exclusive fan events, and plenty of time to explore the country's dynamic city and historic charm.
From world-class beer gardens and traditional cuisine to iconic landmarks and electric football energy.
True Fan Travel will handle it all. Your flight, hotel, game tickets, tailgate, meet and greet, and more.
Take your fandom further and place your deposit today for Detroit in Munich at truefantravel.com.
That's truefantravel.com.
A small business affirmation from Progressive. Food truck owners, today business will be booming. People will love your new menu and not make special orders. You will not roll your eyes when someone calls it a quesadilla. You will also switch to Progressive to get 30 customizable coverage options and restore your inner peace. See if you can save in as little as 8 minutes at progressivecommercial.com.
Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Coverage is not available in all states or for all vehicles and coverage selections.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
ZipRecruiter. Michigan is building. The construction trade unions of the Michigan Building and Construction Trades Council and their employer partners at Musk Construction Careers are looking for qualified, motivated applicants for apprenticeship opportunities. Earn while you learn and graduate debt-free. Construction skilled trade careers include great wages, benefits, and retirement. Learn more about construction skilled trades apprenticeships by visiting mustcareers.org. MUST careers.org. Management and unions serving together.
Bill Jr. here for Kangaroo, where replacing and repairing your roof just got easier and more affordable. Check out this great deal. It's our New Year stimulus with a $2,000 instant rebate on new roofing and siding, plus payments as low as $199 a month. And don't forget, we have great commercial deals too. And no one else offers our 100% satisfaction guarantee.
Kinga Roof, we have to it.
Online at kinga-roof.com.
Catch School Talks with Dr. Robert Livernoy.
On the program this week, we'll chat with some educators who are finding ways to use artificial intelligence to help students learn.
What the students are able to do and what they can generate. Something as simple as AI generate flashcards for me for a test, or put my paper into AI to see what's wrong with it.
School Talks, Sundays at 3 on WJR.
In the United States, the construction and extraction industries face the highest rates of suicide of any occupational group. But together, we can change the blueprint for mental health. Join the American Foundation for Suicide Prevention for the Southeast Michigan Construction Hike for Hope on April 12th at Belle Isle State Park. Registration begins at 10 a.m. Whether you are a colleague, a neighbor, or a family member, your participation funds life-saving research, education, and support for those affected by suicide. Help us build a world without suicide. Register today at afsp.org/semi-construction.
WJR Traffic and Weather First.
This report is sponsored by True Green. Warmer weather is here, and the weeds aren't far behind. But the lawn care pros at True Green are ready. Don't wait. Sign up at truegreen.com by April 7th and get 6 weeks free. Let the pros do the work so you can enjoy your weekend. Restrictions apply. See site for details.
On the Southfield Freeway northbound at 8 Mile, an accident's blocking the left lane. Traffic slow from 7 Mile. Vehicle fire in the 2 right lanes of northbound 275 at E-Course has traffic getting by in the left lane only. That's causing backups to 94. And northbound Telegraph at Grand River, a crash there. Traffic stop and go for McNichols. Now, WJR Weather First from the Weather Channel. Here's your forecast.
Big storms today. Slight risk of severe weather. Could mean wind and large hail.
Back at 30, Jamie.
Isolated tornadoes. Clouds will thicken up. And this afternoon through this evening especially, showers and thunderstorms erupting. 67 today. Then tonight, we'll drop down to the upper 20s when the storms end, probably before midnight. Clouds give way to sunshine tomorrow, but a colder day, high 40. From the Weather Channel, I'm meteorologist Ray Stajic, 760 WJR, where Michigan comes to talk.
Call us or text us. The number's the same. 1-800-859-0957. 1-800-859-0WJR. Powered by Michigan Auto Law. Auto Accident Attorneys. Visit autolaw.com. That's autolaw.com.
There are a couple things that are true when it comes to running for office.
Okay.
You got to have a message. You got to be a viable candidate, right?
I agree.
And the other is you got to have the loot.
Got to have the loot.
You got to have the dough. And Perry Johnson certainly has got a lot of money to spend.
Well, Michigan's gubernatorial race is heating up. Candidates are spending big to win over voters, but not every investment is paying off. One candidate, Perry Johnson, has poured millions into his campaign, yet political analysts say the odds of him becoming governor remain slim. And joining us now to break down the dynamics of this race and what this spending really means is Nancy Kaffer, editorial page editor at the Detroit Free Press. Nancy, good to talk with you.
Thank you so much for having me this morning.
So you've written that Perry Johnson is spending big again on a gubernatorial run, but you don't see him as a serious contender. What stands out most about his campaign so far?
You know, they're candidates you can agree with or not agree with their message, but their plans are serious and they have, legitimate understanding of state government and how they would execute their plans. He's not that, right? Like his plans are, whether you agree with them or not, he's proposing things that just aren't corresponding to reality, like saying, oh, I'm going to audit state government. There's a state auditor general. The state government is audited. Like I'm going to cut the income tax and blow a $13 billion hole in the state budget, but it's fine. We're just going to these are not serious proposals, whether you agree with them or not.
This is like a scathing editorial.
He's spending a lot of money. There's no doubt about that.
100%. And the campaign, y'all were cracking me up about got to have the loot.
Yeah.
And money is an important thing to have in a campaign. It's not the only thing. When Dick DeVos
your pot off your back on, Jamie.
He spent, I think, $35 million of his own money, which is, would be a lot more in today's dollars, and that didn't work. In 2012, the Maroons, tried to pass that ballot proposal to require any new bridge to have to be approved by a statewide vote. So they spent $30 million on that, and that didn't pass. So, which is a lot of money, especially for a ballot proposal. so it's important to have money. You've got to have your message, the money to get your message out there and connect with voters. But voters are smart, and it's not the only thing that's important. Like if you could get your message out there to people, it's huge. That it has to be a message that makes sense. It has to be a message that really says how you're going to do things.
I just think this was like a scathing editorial here. Nothing says fiscal conservative like blowing $15 million.
Yeah,
but I guess it's his own money, so God bless America.
Absolutely. No, it's not it's his business how he can spend his own money, but also I get to judge.
Sure.
He ran for governor in 2022. He spent $7 million that year. He didn't make the ballot because the person who he hired to gather signatures. When you're running for office, you have to get a certain number of signatures on a nominating petition, and the person he hired to gather signatures screwed up. They didn't get enough signatures. The person was actually convicted of defrauding Johnson and some other candidates who didn't make the ballot, which I think that's unfortunate. It's not he didn't do anything wrong. Perry Johnson didn't do anything wrong in the signature collection. But I mean, if you're saying I'm a savvy business guy, I know how to get things done, and then the person you hired to get you on the ballot, like, not only couldn't do it, but was so bad that they're actually a criminal. I just don't know that speaks well for your business acumen. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah. It's a tough sell. And then the next year, he ran for president, right? Which he spent like $8 million that year. And I'm always fascinated by people who launch a presidential campaign. It's like, who's telling them that's a thing? Like, there's no profile there. There's no, I think in the governor's race, he was polling at like 5% name recognition or something in Michigan in 2022. In Michigan, where he had been spending a ton of money, it's like, who said a presidential campaign is a thing you can do? Like, and why did this person? It just fascinates me sometimes when folks show up and do this kind of thing, and it just seems so inexplicable from the outside, and you've got to wonder what the calculation there was. But I guess the calculation is that if you have $8 million to spare, you can do whatever you want with that.
Well, Johnson is running in this crowded GOP primary alongside the likes of John James, Eric Nesbitt. What challenges does that create for him? I know he's reportedly courting Donald Trump's endorsement too.
Yeah, the scuttlebutt is that that Donald Trump is, he's endorsed John James in previous elections, and that he wanted John James to stay in the 10th House district because that's key to the Republicans holding majority in the House. And reportedly, based on some things Trump and other Republicans have said, it seems as though they thought that James could hold on to that seat. They're not so sure about the Republican ability to hold on to this seat now. And there's like kind of a rumor that he's not going to endorse James for governor, and thus Perry Johnson is looking for that endorsement. He's got this 47-47 plan. I mean, Trump is the 47th president. Johnson himself actually says that 47-47 is the amount that people would save after he eliminated the state income tax, which is just like, the kids say the math ain't math, and that is not accurate. Like, he also says he got those figures from ChatGPT, which again, this guy is running on his business savvy. But so I mean, I'm seems like the Trump endorsement is in play, and I'm sure that everyone running on the Republican side would like to get that, and it seems like Johnson is really pitching for it.
Go ahead, Jamie.
I was just going to say, what's the alternative if you want some different voices and different people to run? I mean, you find Perry Johnson unserious, I understand in this editorial, but like, don't we need more people to like get out there and try?
Sure. I mean, like you said, anyway, it's his money. He can spend it however he wants. Anyone can run for office. And ultimately, it's up to voters to decide whether he's a serious candidate or not. I hope I've offered them some context and some thoughts, but everybody's going to come to their own decision. And my goal when I write a column is that I'm going to tell you what I think, and maybe you'll agree with me, or maybe you'll say, I never thought about it that way, but I don't agree with her. Or, again, the only thing that, the old saying, the only poll that matters is the one at the voting booth. But but I think that there's a disrespect for the process. Finding solutions to these problems, the political problems of governance, are really complex. And I don't think it serves our democracy, our government, or our voters when people present them as these are really easy. If just these yo-yos would stop screwing around like this, because it's not true. And then I think it creates more frustration with the system. We need real solutions to real problems, not fake solutions to real problems.
Nancy Caffer, appreciate your time. We'll talk again very soon. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, you got it. But yes, at the end of the day, voters going to decide
They're going to do it.
What's legit, what isn't, and we're going to get a clearer picture of that coming up here in the next few months. All right, enjoy the Tigers game today, wherever you may watch it.
He's dancing, guys.
You've got options.
He's dancing in here.
That's going to do it for us. Kevin Dietz and All Talk coming up. See ya.
World Series bound.